Hey man, it's Kevin Smith.
Hey, this is Jay Music.
Hey, I'm Scott Snyder.
I'm Cena Grace.
And you're listening
to The Absolute Geek.
The Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek Podcast.
Check it out, Snoogans.
You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Absolute Geek Podcast. My name is Matt.
My name is Kyle.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Corbin.
And I'm Corbin. How's it going,
Corbin
guys?
looking fresh and clean. So
Yes,
fresh
sir,
and
yes,
so clean.
sir.
Look at
Got
that.
that fresh cut.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So we got to kind of start tonight's show at a little bit of a somber note, as our community has lost a legend today. Mr. Denny O'Neil passed away. Now, I don't think you can. Denny O'Neil's one of those names synonymous with comics, like Neil Adams, that creative team. Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee. Bill Finger. Not even gonna go with Bob Kane, but to leave Bob Kane alone. But yeah, it's sad that we lost a great man in Denny O'Neil today. So.
Yeah, you guys know how much of a big part of my comics life that team is and that writer is. I'm a huge Denny O'Neil fan. I think that Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams did more to make comics socially conscious than anybody has done 10 times over.
Yeah, they put shit in the spotlight that no one else was putting in the spotlight. With meaning.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I really hope that there's some cool tributes that come out over the next couple days. Some tributes that maybe get more exposure than normal, because he definitely deserves it, especially in a time like right now. If there ever was a guy that was down in the gutters and going through some shit, went through some major shit in his life, that dude was a hardcore alcoholic for a long time, beat alcoholism, was in New York back in the 70s and the 60s and the 80s. Yeah, that dude was living in the gutters and putting that in the pages of the comics and in a way that really meant something to people that were reading at the time. Never before did comics even have any type of social message until Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, like truly on a major level. People don't understand that. So I really hope he gets some big tributes.
Well, I know Neil Adams already came out and penned one in a very Neil Adams-esque way, in a way only Neil Adams could.
Yeah.
Tried to call him a friend without calling him a friend, basically, is what it came down to. But. Yeah,
Neil Adams is very good about sounding pompous.
He's got it mastered.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome to hear him talk, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, Denny O'Neil could be one of those guys that you could give credit to for humanizing superheroes. Like Brian said, he's well known for taking real life experiences and pushing them to the forefront of his books and his writing and stuff. So, that's why you get things like the Speedy shooting heroin and a lot of the stuff that you saw with Batman.
Just think, John Stewart is Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. Think about how important that character is, especially for young black men in America at the time who didn't really have a character that they could look at and say, well, a perfect example is how Neil Adams put it when we interviewed him. And he said that, there wasn't a black character where young black men and women, I guess, at the time could have looked at and said, here's a character that, has grown up, gotten out of the ghetto or made it through secondary schooling and college and had a good job. They didn't have anything like that in the comics until John Stewart. It was, and even the way Neil Adams put it, it was usually the black superheroes were, their backstory was ridiculous. You know, it wasn't a backstory that's could help somebody reading it really endear themselves to the character. And Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil did that with Jon Stewart in a major way. So much so that I get angry because I'm a Hal Jordan fan when young kids talk about Jon Stewart being their favorite Green Lantern, just because I'm such a Hal Jordan geek. But Jon Stewart is a lot of young kids' favorite Green Lantern right now because of the exposure Jon Stewart got in the cartoons, and rightfully so. So, yeah, big loss for the whole community on a whole, not just the comics community.
And it kind of sucks that he didn't get to live long enough to see a character he created in Madam Web get her big screen debut in her movie. So, but I mean, he's a crucial part of comics in general. So it's a big loss all the way around. Yep. And it was cool that if you were at Phoenix Fan Fusion a few years ago, he was here and you got to meet him there. And so it's a big loss, but we get used to those because all those guys are about at the end of the road, you know. They're taking that one last trip down the road, so
I appreciate that. It's good.
You're welcome, Corbin.
Yeah, you just gave everybody a death sentence.
Yeah.
Hey,
Matt's like, it's sad, guys.
What are you talking about? On a show where we literally took bets on when Stan Lee was going to kick the fucking bucket. All right, we literally took bets on when Stan Lee was going to die, and then we took bets again after his wife died when he was going to die.
I was about to say we need to do a comic book Deadpool.
Let's do a comic book Deadpool.
Matt's just like, if you die, if things sad right now that he passed away, but just get ready because a lot of your favorite writers, it's the end of the road.
It is. A lot of those old guys said the end of the road. My point is
2022.
My point is, if you're
2022,
when cons come back, whether it's the end of this year or next year, if you're on the fence where if you're going to a convention where you could potentially see some of these old guys, and you're on the fence, do it because there's not much time left.
And that could be for anyone, but especially for the old seniors. That's Matt's message. There you go.
And how cool would that be to be at a con and go, "How you feeling? You're in my death pool.
Yep.
How you feeling right now? You feeling good? Because I've got you slated for like 2022. So let's take your vitamins right now and your vegetables and exercise a little bit, please."
Big shout out to local Arizona resident and comedian out there in Bisbee, Arizona, Doug Stanhope, because Doug Stanhope might have been the originator of the true death pool. That guy has been putting money with all his friends, doing a fantasy death pool draft every year for the last 10 years. And
Howard Stern's had one for like 20-something years.
Yeah.
Bets all for years. You know what I mean? They've always had a long time bets going.
They even had their friends on it. I mean, some of them drafted Ralphie May first round many years in a row. So,
that dude was like 800 pounds and did coke for days, man.
Yeah, he was a good dude, man.
Holbrook tells his Ralphie May stories, dude. It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, he's
the Ralphie May voice. Yeah, player. I'll be down in 20 minutes. I've been sitting here for 3 hours, Ralphie. Yeah, man. I got about another hour to go. I got this cheeseburger I'm gonna eat. I got this stuff, and I got some weed I need to smoke. Okay, Ralphie, it's been 5 hours.
You do a pretty damn good Ralphie May impression, Kyle. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
TY.
But so yeah, I wanted to address the Denny O'Neil thing right away because it just literally happened today, and it's a huge blow. But yeah, but it gave us content for a death pool, so let's go. Let's get that started. Death pool.
Next week we'll have a list, and we'll do a draft, and we'll draft our people, and then we'll put some money in the pot. But the way we can do it is higher up. The more known somebody is, the more that person is worth. So
Donnie Cates.
So like say if you have Donnie Cates, he would be at like $3, and then you would have like somebody lower that's not as known would only be worth $1, and then you have to tally up everybody that's on your list and how much you owe, and that's what we put into the pot.
Oof.
And we'll do a draft, and we'll randomly pick names, and just like a draft, and we'll pick our names.
Wow. That. Okay.
So that's what we'll do this week.
I'm glad.
Anybody out there that wants to play with us?
We should have did that with Stan Lee.
I'll be back, guys.
Dead.
That pool would have grown. That pool would have grown massively.
So, baby.
Death makes me sleepy.
Me too.
No, that's sad though. I think making characters 3-dimensional as he did, bring up race like you said, and putting it to the forefront. As long as there's drug issues and other things. Didn't he pen Batman Venom? I feel like he did. And that was one of my favorite pieces of. Yeah, he did. He did with Jose Luis Garcia Lopez.
He did. He was part of some of the classic Neil Adams covers. The Batman.
Exactly. Yeah.
And all those awesome Neil Adams covers. There's meets a person right behind with it, so it's awesome.
And he's indirectly related. Indirectly responsible for the start of Bane with introducing the drug Venom, and how Batman was first involved with that, and the storyline with that, and just how deep and layered it was. And that was just Downey Jr. in his writing anyway. So
I hear that Corbin is going to go on Couch Crunchers tomorrow night and educate them on who Denny O'Neil is, huh?
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys. Those guys are awesome.
Look at Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Well, it's also contingent on our hangout, so let's not talk about it too much because
going to educate that audience on the great Denny O'Neil.
That would be kind of cool to bring in an audience where they only talk about movies and some anime, to bring in something as iconic that they know about, they have knowledge of, but to bring in that closer insight, I think is awesome.
True. I'm glad. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Matt, for the shout out. I'm sure. Again, that's contingent on events from tomorrow, so we'll see, but it's possible, and I'm excited if so.
We should do two. We should do a celebrity death pool, and then we should do a comic death pool.
I'm down for that. More celebrity than the comic one hurts because I know it's going to come in. I'm like, dang it, like there's people. Yeah, but you're right. Let's do it. Oh, boy.
Sweet.
Well, I mean, if we're going to do death pools, we might as well do death pool on the next show that's going to get canceled, as that leads into our main topic. The title is that Cops, after 34 seasons, something like that, or 31 years, Cops is being pulled off the air, and as well as Live PD. So that means there's no more getting sweaty because you're watching Cops. You got to dry off, people, because Cops is over.
So, dude, Live PD is probably like my ultimate favorite Saturday thing to do. Like that 4-hour block is some of the greatest television. I love it.
And I don't understand the backlash on Live PD. Like, I understand like Cops, I don't care about. Live PD though, like you said, that's a fantastic show to watch, and it's because of the humor of the people they're arresting and what people do when they realize they're on TV, and what people say, and what it gives you that look. And I don't understand that aspect of it. I understand they're calling for police reform, but this kind of they could use this to put police officers in a good light.
That's the whole point of Live PD.
But yeah, I think exactly at a certain point it goes from putting them in good light to possibly propaganda, or at least that's such the mindset. I didn't really have much of an opinion on those shows. I was more upset with the videos of cops dancing with people before then shooting them with tear gas than I was about TV, because at the end of the day it's just like reality TV and everything. Like, it's all about obviously agendas and stereotypes and all of that. It's TV, it may put them in a more positive light. I don't understand getting rid of it entirely. But at the end of the day, everyone's...
What was the reasoning for it?
Huh?
What was the reasoning for it?
Well, in general, I think it was just pressure. I'm not really sure. I'm looking up now. I think it was just pressure to kind of. I mean, for one, 31 years is a long time. Also, like, you're gonna pick the 5 or 6 good stories and have on, on a midnight block when all this other crap's going on. I mean, but it's endured a lot of other shootings. Like, it's been around a long time.
I mean, live TV is awesome because it's live. It's there. There's a very small delay. It's not like Cops where it's all chopped up and already done.
Mm-hmm.
And they've taken the best instances. I mean, I guess what they do is they jump around, from city to city as it dies down. But like live PD, I mean, it's live. It's in your face.
It's not edited. Like I'm pretty sure Cops is still. I know they say it's filmed live on location with men and women of law enforcement, but I don't know.
Men and women.
Yeah, I can't. Men and women, but I think it's still edited where you're only getting the best stuff. Where, like you said, live PD it's live in your face. There's no editing. You're watching it as it happens, and it's still kind of funny when it happens. Like they get in with Pima County or places in Arizona that
They stop doing here.
Yeah, and then you're like sitting there waiting to see if somebody pops up on there, and
like when they did it, and they went to Metro Center.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, yes. Yeah, I love seeing familiar. That was my favorite part about watching it when they were here, because when they're in Phoenix, I was like, I'd be looking at the signs in the background going, I know where they're at. I know exactly where they're fucking at. And, yep, something's going to pop off because they're in that area. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand the true reason why they pulled the plug. Like,
it's just because of the backlash from the protests that are going on. They're also doing the police reform protests, and you have a lot of states that are looking at abolishing police departments completely. So, like, the movement has effectively done what it was supposed to do, and police reform is happening, and it's happening in a big way. And that's pretty much why they did is they pull it off of that to remove the focus from the police officers.
Well, there's also been some data and stuff proven about some of the suspects and people arrested, because obviously, even the arrests are done to a certain extent with the being shown on camera with the people who are then they sign like release or waivers or whatever the case may be, and they were like, oh, we didn't. We were coerced into just being live filmed on this, like the different interactions afterwards. Or if you watch some of the episodes, there's a few episodes I know there's complaints about the way that cops were in certain neighborhoods doing tasing and different things, or different what's the word where you identify someone, or you profiling and stuff that wasn't exactly cop procedure, but we're in a rugged neighborhood. There's this black man down the street. Let's see what he's doing. Like,
I've never heard that on live TV. Yeah, never.
No.
I'm giving
an example, but I will share the article with which I got research of people bringing it up. I think it's The Guardian or something. I'll share stuff on that. But situations of not proper police work being done yet glorified because it's on TV. Now that I have seen.
So what to add to that, right? There's a couple cops. If you watch live PD, I think they're in New Orleans. There's 2 New Orleans cops, and out of all of the officers that I see, these 2 guys are the kind of the ones that are on this fringe. Like, they're the 2 guys that they're regular cops, but they never have a uniform on, and they got long hair, which is fine. I'm sure they do a lot of undercover work or whatever, but you could tell these guys are like borderline. You could see where if the camera wasn't on, what you were saying is what happens. But once they know, because you could see it escalating to that, and then you could see him the wheels turning. You see him back pedaling back down, and But there's the two cops in New Orleans. Those are the ones I would say.
I haven't watched live PD enough. I can't say that for sure. I've seen Cops more than a few times.
Live PD is fantastic, and it has a huge community. Like, that's what people do. Is Friday night, Saturday night, they get for that 4-hour block of live PD, and they're tweeting. They're live tweeting as the show's going on. So whenever someone says something funny, it's blowing up on Twitter. Like, live PD had a massive community and following with it, and it was, I don't know. I'm a little sad to see live PD go. I understand why it is, but everything,
I don't understand.
a lot of like the chat saying that they're trying to cancel everything. Cops. They want police Lego sets pulled. They want to cancel. They want to cancel the kids' cartoon Paw Patrol because one of the dogs is a police officer. So it's just the police reform and everything. Police are being put in at the forefront of negativity right now, and they're just trying to remove everything. So I don't know. Hopefully, Cops has been canceled. As of right now, Live PD has just been shelved, and they have not said whether they're going to cancel it or not or move forward with it. So we'll see what happens. But
Live PD is awesome.
It is. It is very comical.
And a lot of the people, they're just, like a lot of the stuff that happens on Live PD, it's just boring traffic stops, and it's just, and they go, hey, I'm on Live PD.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the people they talk to, they end up being excited. Some people are all stupid. Oh, the full camera in my face. But for the most part, most people are like, yeah, we're on Live PD. Like they're excited about it.
But then that's what I like about Live PD is it was there to educate you too, because they had the panel of police officers that were in the studio that would explain why the officer did what he did and explain the situation as the arrest was going, or the the apprehension was going down, or whatever traffic stop, whatever the cop says. They were breaking it down, explaining it to you why it was being done that way, and it was educational too. But I could care less about Cops. I'm more upset about Live PD.
Yeah, I love Live PD.
I guess this is one where it's lost on me. I could care less about either. So it's like
it was just something that was my Saturday night. Like, okay, I'm watching Live PD. Like if Nubia and I were going to the bar, it would be we're watching Live PD till it's time to go to the bar. Like one of the bars we used to go to, when we got there, we would have them turn Live PD on for us so that we could continue watching Live PD. And what's cool about like DirecTV is they play it, and then the West Coast feed comes on, and then you could just watch it again. I would watch the whole entire thing again.
Mm-hmm. Like Michael Stott just said, I've seen so many dildos found in cars on Live PD
It's
Comedy Gold.
insane.
So have I. Yeah.
Did you see the one where they were off by the cemetery, and they were pulled off the road, and the cops they were like in a cemetery, and it was late at night, so they pulled over to see what they were doing, and the dude liked to get fucking railed by dildos. So when they were searching him, dude had so many dildos, and they were his to go in however he felt that night, and he would have people come and insert it into him for him because he liked that, and he must have had a dozen of them.
Grizzly Geek says, Cops is a show to make you feel better about yourself and your family. Yes, I agree. But that, I grew up watching the show because, Saturday night in my house, my parents used to watch Cops on Fox, America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Mysteries, and then so you kind of grew up on Cops if you're in your mid to late 30s. That's
if I heard the theme song of that playing, no matter where I was up too late.
The Cops.
It didn't matter where I was.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
I should be in bed. Didn't matter what time. When I was younger, I think like 8 or 9, it was still maybe prime time on Fox or something. So it'd be 7 or 8 when it was on. But as I got older, and it was 11 and 12, and that meant you should have your ass in bed. So that's all I associate with it. I've seen maybe a couple episodes, but then again, in general, those shows never. It's whatever to me. So I get it. To be fair, I don't know how long Live PD was, but to last 31 years, that's a long time. I almost got it just as long, if not longer, than Law and Order. So, I'm not shedding any tears over it because they had a hell of a run.
Cops. I got the same opinion as Matt. I can give a shit about Cops, but Live PD was fucking where it's at. Mm-hmm. And then they had the body cam show that they had, and it was great.
I feel like they'll bring one of those shows back.
Got to watch some hot, very, very hot female officers in action. It's fucking fun. It was a good time. I'm sad to see Live PD get shelved. Cops, whatever, but Live PD is entertaining.
It's fucking badass. I'm so bummed.
Yeah.
Yes, Cops was the first reality TV. Michael Stout.
The first reality? Yeah, I guess it was. Jerry Springer is pretty close to that too, though.
I thought Jerry Springer stopped.
That dude has stopped and started so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it went. Yeah,
I
28
think when
years.
Steve made his
Oh,
own
no,
shit.
it went from 91 to 2018.
Well, then it
What,
stopped.
Cops?
No, Jerry Springer.
And then
When
didn't it
Cops started.
stop when he ran for governor or whatever, and then it came back?
28 years, 4,969 episodes, but I think it's done. Yeah, it's a wrap. But it's still
They
coming.
play the rerun still.
Exactly, that'll never go.
Well,
Right?
it's spinned off into the Steve Wilco show.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not- I look at that more as a copycat than a spinoff.
Well,
Like he tried to be
it as
serious. We need to get down and really
Yeah.
understand
Exactly.
why you're
I
going.
know.
well, I
That
say
wasn't
spin-off because Steve
I want to
Wilco.
see them fight.
Steve Wilco was Jerry Springer's bodyguard. He was the main
He's spun
dude.
off, but the
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But the spinoff to me is like something in some way related to the source material. No, Steve Wilkos tried to do his own thing, ended up with the thing of Ish. It's bull. Like I hate. It's like the worst parts of Jerry Springer and Dr. Phil.
Jerry. That used to be on my bucket list, was to go to Jerry Springer. That would be so, dude, it'd be so bad. If you crowd, Jerry.
I would always try to guess how many seconds before the weeds flew off.
Take it off.
Yeah,
It off.
snatch the weave.
It's awesome.
And they be coming, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, take off.
My man.
This my dude right here. That's right. I'm in there all night. Ding, 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 yeah. And the weave and the cheap shoes and everything just flying.
They get up and their shirts are all ripped and shit.
They always had the best content. Like, I'm fucking my cousin, and
Yeah.
I'm pregnant with my cousin's baby, and my aunt
Goofiest
don't know.
looking motherfucker on the planet.
And now we bring
Like, there's no, I mean, the chicks usually weren't like award winning. You know, they were the best of the trailer park trash. But like that dude would walk out and you're like, these two bitches are fighting over that dude.
Right?
Yeah.
Long must be
He come out
big, dude. It must be like 27 inches.
and he'll say something stupid and they'll fight him. I don't know what we fighting over. Y'all both can have me. And then ding, ding, ding. And then, but let's bring out his brother who was also screwing with her cousin. And the plot twist just got so convoluted. I was like,
They always throw out those sick jabs at each other. Oh, he told me he liked riding me better than his truck. And then just like, oh, God, here we go.
oh, no, they have their fights. And then Jerry gives them a thing of water. They know they ain't going to drink. Like, everyone know they ain't drinking that water. They take it, just throw it at you.
And then Jerry always concludes it with like a nice, like real
His
heart.
final thoughts, yeah.
Yep. It'd be like,
Final thoughts.
ladies.
Maury was where it was at.
Yeah.
You are not the father.
No, that's a little too close to I'm just kidding.
How so?
I'm just kidding with you.
What, did you go on Maury and you were not the father?
Not the father. Shook him.
Look at that. That kid looks exactly like my man.
Exactly.
You are not the father.
If Roy was a Cigna, then yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, they just fucking take off the stage, and the dude's like, I told you, and they're going crazy.
He'll just say the same thing. Told you I'm not the man. Told you I'm not the man.
Dancing around.
Yeah.
Rumor is it you had sex with 4 people that day.
Yeah.
And I was the third.
Awesome. So awesome.
Yeah. Those trashy daytime TV shows are good. Cheaters is always solid.
Right up until the host got stabbed on the boat.
Yeah, and then the other host died. Joey Greco got stabbed. Clark Gable took over. Now Clark Gable's dead.
That was one
And
of the greatest episodes in Cheaters is when the dude got stabbed.
I've seen a few gold mines.
Show was wild.
It was crazy. And that one just felt more real. Like sometimes it'd be like trashy fights and everything that's fun. Other times they'd just be crying. You're like, this is awkward. Like,
Oh, dude, they would show up and you're just like, bam! You're like, whoa!
just be watching the CW between the hours of 1 and 3 in the morning. It's Saturday nights.
There you
Or
go.
Sunday.
Yep. Cheaters, all cheaters.
Yeah. Do. And this is Cheaters.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh, man.
Johnny was supposed to be following the yacht, but he's seeing another ocean tonight. Something
So kind
random.
of staying on the topic of trash and trashy people. So Picard season 2 is set to feature full frontal nudity, and graphic bloody violence, and
You're
the
gonna
C word.
You're gonna see some pecker fucking flailing in the wind.
Has anyone actually watched Picard?
No.
No,
Okay, then I don't think that's news.
I'm not gonna pay.
Patrick Stewart's fucking shriveled old
Yeah.
wrinkled dick.
Yeah, I don't
No.
need to see his Vienna sausage flapping in the wind.
Oh, I didn't need to see that image in my head. God,
His fucking salt and pepper fucking old man.
okay.
Both smacking against his knees.
The gray bush. You don't need to see the gray bush, huh?
Dude, his old
Point
man.
is, nobody's
balls
paying
hanging too low.
It's probably as bald as his head.
His old man balls fucking plop in the toilet when he goes to take a dump. Gets all cold from the water.
They just unravel like a fruit by the foot.
Let the ladies get to it.
He's
Make
always,
it so.
he's always got a gold bonnet because he rolls it up and it gets
Yeah.
all sweaty.
Make it so. No, but seriously, of all the streaming apps,
He velcros them up. He puts a little velcro on and then rolls them up and then wraps the velcro around to keep them all up high and tight.
And my balls all high and tight.
Yep.
I hope we don't see his fucking shriveled old fucking Captain Picard balls.
I think
These are the captain's balls.
it's going to be
Outer
Jerry.
are the captain's balls.
I was never a Star Trek fan.
I love Star Trek.
His little Earl Grey tea bags. I was never a Star Trek guy. I was more Star Wars. Never got into the Trek.
The Romulans, the Borg. I was a big Trekkie growing up, and it just
Dude,
got
the Borg is what totally won me over for Star Trek.
very assimilated.
I would watch it was I don't know, it was on Netflix and I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those episodes are fucking dumb. I would get pissed going back to watch them. Like, for the most part, it's a great show, but when they go back and they decide to be fucking Sherlock Holmes and shit, I get pissed. We don't need you to be stuck as Sherlock Holmes, dude. What the fuck?
Well, I like that episode. I know what you're referencing. Yeah, I thought it was
That
good.
episode?
You
I
would
do.
like that
It's like
episode.
I think
You don't even watch
two episodes.
You,
there's the
you would
one-
like anything in that old Victorian time set.
There's an ongoing one where he's a detective, and he keeps going back to be a detective, and he's figuring out the shit. And I would keep the space shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to see stuff that I know. I want to see.
I see what you're saying. You want to go, I mean, I'm sure, but yeah. I feel like if anyone gets the full frontal, it's probably going to be Jerry Ryan. I mean, it's what people wanted to see for like 20 years anyway. Like, that's what I think it's going to be. But then again, who the hell cares? Because no one's watching that stuff. I'm not paying for no CBS All Access. You have like 18 million streaming services, and All Access just happens to be the trashiest one.
Oh, I don't know about that.
What would you call the trashiest one? For me, it'd be HBO Max, but you know,
No, sir. HBO Max is good.
just 'cause you like-
I haven't downloaded it yet. And I have it free.
I just think I think people are overrating it. I don't think it's the trashiest. I do think CBS is. What do they offer? A couple episodes of the Twilight Zone?
Dude, Twilight Zone is badass.
Exactly, but I'm not paying just to watch that. You know, I've seen a couple services I'll pay just to watch one series, but that series has to be like stand out great. Twilight
That's what I
Zone's
do every New Year's is watch Twilight Zone.
well, that's on Sci-Fi every year. It's a tradition. Well, that and on the Comedy Central is the Chappelle Show. But, anyways,
Look, on Resident.
Watch
So
Chappelle's new special that he dropped today.
dude,
Is it good? See,
dude,
I don't think Dave Chappelle is funny.
intense. I love him. I think he's hilarious. But this was not funny.
No.
No, he made like one joke about Candace Owens' puss, which was hilarious, I guess. But aside from that, it was like a real deep type of If you were expecting humor, no.
I've just never found him super funny for some reason.
his show was hilarious.
I didn't think it was. I mean, like, sprinkle some crack on him. Like, that was kind of funny, but
Clinton Bigsby.
overall, I don't know. I just
Tyrone.
didn't get his humor.
I get you. It is not for everyone. I enjoy to like Key and Peele in that way.
I hate those guys. I
love them. Also, did you know that
Keanu.
Key's half brother was Dwayne McDuffie? Well, no one did. I found on a YouTube video. But apparently he'd done
Well, now that Corbin froze,
I guess DNA test or whatever. He's the half brother of I'm here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You froze, and then you came back.
You good,
in.
Matt?
No, you froze again.
But I'm here. So I'm here though. I'm still here.
You're frozen.
Have you froze, Matt?
You're frozen, Corbin. Sorry. I'm sorry, Corbin.
I'm not frozen.
Not now. You're not.
I'm not frozen.
Now you're unfrozen.
So what are you talking about? So what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You were frozen.
No, I stopped talking and froze. Like, but I'm still here.
Whatever.
Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
If I
Anyways,
was Homer Simpson, I would back.
I'll leave I'll go. Want me to go? I'll go. Blackout.
you're freezing out again, Corbin.
Thanks, freezing.
But Grizzle Geek says, like, for the facts, it'll be minor characters. No one of the main will get full nudity.
I think Picard's gonna have his swinging dick out.
Well, no one's watching.
It should just be some dude in the back just walks by randomly.
Just walk by the big elephant schlong.
Yeah. Fucking tap somebody on the shoulder and then he goes in the other room.
You know what? I'm betting odds it's gonna be Worf. Forget it. Worf.
Michael Stott says he'll never get a
Worf.
Victorian Batman.
Klingon.
Stout doesn't know. We're not gonna do this again, Michael. We're not gonna do this again. I thought you got me. You want to start a fight? We're not doing this. You don't know true good Batman until you've read a good Victorian era Batman. Think about the culture back then. All right, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. What's next, Matt?
So, Walking Dead Season 10 finale. We might finally get the final episode of Season 10 sometime in July.
I've completely forgot about Walking Dead.
Who the freak cares? So why are we even?
I want the last episode because of how hyped it's being that it's going to be this exploding, like it's a fantastic episode, and
Daryl zombie picks and shit.
Maggie's coming back, and
it's bold.
Like I want to see it. I want to see it because it's supposed to be like a huge event, but
it's huge.
When did that show stop playing? Months ago? What, April? No,
right around
March.
COVID time.
Yeah, right around COVID. So it was like March, the middle of March, and that's not coming until July for one final episode. Nah, whatever.
I mean, I completely
but
forgot that we didn't see the final episode. I completely have forgotten.
Yeah.
There's so much going on, and everything is so weird right now. It's like that stuff is like almost irrelevant.
It's funny though, like we were talking before the show with that whole COVID thing and how like we're now like the new epicenter of the resurgence of COVID here in Arizona.
We're number two.
And how they shut down cities and made us all work from home and had us all on stay-at-home orders, and now they're just like, we don't care. You're gonna have to learn to deal with it.
Well, that's what Doozy said on Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, it's around. We're just gonna have to live with it.
Yep.
And then the next day, 1,645 reported cases in one day.
God.
Woohoo!
Crazy times. I'm just holding to get through to July to when the aliens come. And
COVID-19.
You know,
they can't come till after October. I talked to Phoenix Comic-Con. I still have a speed dating event to get to.
Who's Phoenix Comic-Con?
That's what I'm calling Fan Fusion this year. It's 2020 and everything goes.
It's all fair game this year, right?
Thank you. Exactly. So let me get myself a date first so that we can be, together for the end of the world.
No, he had a breakfast date today.
Yeah.
Ooh, how did that go?
I'm looking forward to Phoenix Fan Fusion speed dating.
Oh man, oh man!
I'll tell y'all. No, it's I can't. It wasn't bad, but
but it wasn't good.
Right?
It's a conversation that should not be held on the air. So
no, this is the best place to do it.
Yeah,
nobody is listening, and nobody's here but me and Matt.
Yep.
That's the thought process.
Everybody out there mute for the next 2 minutes while Corbin tells us.
Air your grievances, Corbin.
No.
Does she know you're on the podcast?
Yeah, but she's not into She's not into comics,
so she doesn't tune in just to check it out.
No,
because we've had that happen before.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and my boss.
That's all right. That's right. The guy who kicked all that off before is not here, so neither one of them are here anymore. So
You had it too, though, Matt.
no one's gonna call her.
I got it too.
Yeah, I've got it too. But I'm saying no one's gonna call her a whore because those people are not here.
That was crazy when Kellen called her a whore.
This is crazy. Oh, I've never heard this one before.
You haven't heard?
So we'll tell the story again real quick.
Thank you.
Jose missed the show one time because he had a date.
Okay.
So we were talking about Jose has gone on his date. We were explaining to the audience that it was only me, Matt, and Kellen. And so we were talking about it. And Matt was saying, ha ha, he's probably getting catfished. And we were making jokes about it. And then I said he probably had to pay her to go out with him. And Kellen went, oh, you mean she's a whore? And then it just went fucking ballistic
snowballed.
from there.
Yeah.
And we just went on and on and on about how she's a hooker and a whore. And that was and Jose had gone on and talked about how he's on a podcast. She should check it out sometime. That was the episode that she checked out because it was the newest episode. It had just gotten released. And then we come to record like that Friday. Jose is fucking pissed. He didn't talk to us for like 2 days, and we didn't even know why.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
We had no fucking idea why he wasn't talking to us. And he finally said, she listened to the podcast, and you called her a whore. Told her she was a hooker. And we were like,
yikes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And we even changed the title of the episode because it had referenced Jose's date.
Dang, yeah. I'll never tell my stories on camera.
Oh, dude, it was...
that sounds scary. Yeah.
It's just like the time that Matt went out and she listened to the show and then she ghosted him.
Her brother listened to the show.
Her brother listened to the show.
Oh, jeez.
And she totally ghosted him afterward. Like they had plans to go to the farmer's market in the morning and all kinds of shit.
Oh, that's a cute little date. Oh, man. And because of stuff that she heard on the pod?
Well, because her brother listens to the show and he told her to check it out and she did and shit got sour. Shit went sour.
Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
Fantastic.
Yeah, see, I can't be doing that.
So just, word to wise, never lead with I'm on a podcast.
No.
Because people will check it out.
Make sure you like put some roots in and fucking
lay some pipe first.
Lay some pipe first. Get some groundwork done. And then you tell them because if they come on and it just doesn't work.
Lord.
It's
awesome though. He was so mad at us.
He was very upset.
Because she stopped talking to him. Because we sat and made fun of her for like, I don't know, what, a half hour? 40 minutes? Just on and on and on and on. And we know how we do things.
Yep.
Yeah, go off.
Love to beat a dead horse.
I know.
We beat that hooker down.
Lord, you guys are.
We beat that hooker down.
It was awesome. It's fan.
Fantastic.
I did not call her a whore. I did not call her a hooker. I just said Jose had to pay her to go on a date with him.
No, Kellen clearly handled the.
Kellen clearly said, "Oh,
hooker talk.
She's a hooker."
Wow, and see, that's why the story will be off air. Subscribe to the Patreon.
Drizzle Geek, the absolute geek matchmaker show.
Oh,
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I should do it at my. Yeah.
See, I don't think she listens. I think Matt's date person. I don't think she listened to one of our regular episodes. I think she had listened to one of our What the Fuck Friday episodes.
Yeah.
When we were super raunchy.
Yes.
I feel that.
We need to get back to that.
Corbin likes the super raunch.
That's presuming a lot, sir.
I'm just kidding.
I know. No.
Corbin just doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm here. You're here. We're here. The aliens are coming. The world's ending. What are we waiting on?
Michael Stott says we've all had the talks with our significant others once things got serious, where it's like, look, I'm into some stuff, and I don't want you to think less of me, but it's who I am.
Right? Now that I've reeled you in, this is what I have to tell you. I'm a big old fucking nerd on a podcast. Beware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of comics. I have a lot of comics. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
See, like Matt didn't even lead. He didn't even tell her he was on a podcast at first.
Wow.
Nope, I didn't lead with that. She baited me into the discussion because her brother had told her.
Oh, that's an awkward conversation.
That is so awesome. What are the odds of that? Like, I would swore that Matt was lying.
I
mean,
wish,
it was,
dude.
wow.
Because what are the odds? Truly, what are the odds of that?
So what happens when you're on the #1 geek podcast in the Phoenix area.
But as I've learned lately, more and more, I've been going places, and I'm wearing my Absolute Geek shirt, and I'm being recognized. So, I mean, they're out there.
You make an impact out there. Remind me that when I go out next time to keep it out. No, I'm playing.
Do you guys? Who? What?
Yeah.
Absolute Geek. Oh, I'm on it. I know. I just said I listened to it. Oh, right on, man. Thanks.
That's cool. Big fan of the show. Love the last episode. I forgot we talked about last episode. Awesome. Yeah.
Dude, that happens to me all the time. When you guys said this, I was like, I don't even remember saying that.
Dude, yeah, it's so many times that happens where they'll email and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, your show's great. You know, I listen to it all the time, blah, blah. When you guys said this, and this, it had me in tears. And I'll go to Kyle. Hey, do you remember us talking about this? Because it just doesn't. There's so much, dude. Like, we're almost at what 500 episodes or 500 podcasts put out, and it's like, you want me to remember something I said 5 years ago on a show? There's certain ones that stick with you, but then there's other ones where it's like, I don't remember that.
Big shout out to Couch Crunchers. They got it right just now. You're right. It is so hard to be a star.
It is hard to be a star, Kyle.
It's hard for me to, I'm such a modest person and shy that it's hard when I get this attention for being a superstar. It just.
But switching gears here real quick because he just messaged me and asked me to make sure to announce it. If you guys still want to back Gregory Schoen's book, Rascals, Book 1.
Oh, I'm doing that tonight.
Crossroad at Porksburg. There's 3 days left on their campaign. So if you guys want to support that book, please make sure to go to Kickstarter. It's Indiegogo. Make sure to go to Indiegogo. I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the chat.
Really good group.
Yeah, if you want to support Greg's.
God damn it, did it again.
If you want to support Greg's book, you got 3 days left to do that, and there's some great perks there to get for it as well.
I got on, so the perks are really cool. Artwork's great, story's good. It's a great
Giving
card.
out perks.
Yeah, I got like a little. I
For every comic you get, we'll give you 5 Percocets.
Perk sets. I mean, it's really cool artwork from the Rascals and stuff, and I appreciate it. And I'm shout out to them, and they're
You got some already?
yeah, got some already. In fact, I can get it, but I'll have to leave for a second to go grab it.
What do you
But,
mean you already got some already?
Well, the book's not here, but they gave me like a little care package of things, like artwork.
Fuck is my care package?
Did you
Is bullshit.
Did you
I did.
order a book?
I shouldn't have to do a goddamn thing.
I ordered the book. That's what you have to do. I ordered the book, and I was like, listen, like right then while we were interviewing, I'm like, boom, 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 and they're nice like that. You just gotta let them know. Let them know they got you.
Nah.
Anyway,
I talked to him the other day, and I said, I'm gonna order the book. I'm gonna order the book tonight. I got it.
Yeah. They're a great group of guys.
Ordering books. Fucking me and Matt got those dope ass Ninja Turtle books today.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I forgot mine. I'm kidding.
Order your own.
I wasn't as baller status as Matt. I only got the color variant.
Yeah, I tell Matt got the Absolute Geek money. Keep them bagged and boarded.
I don't have the Absolute Geek money.
Keep them bagged and boarded. Keep them pockets loaded. That's Matt's signal. He always showing every week, guys. Every week he's showing his 9.8 slabs and this Denny O'Neil artwork, design, covered autographs, and
show everybody the book that we ordered today.
Exactly. He just got so much, man. I don't know how the money comes in, but
I had stumbled across this book. I had stumbled across this book, and in our group chat, I was like, guys, what the fuck? Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me. The group is like me, Corbin, Matt, Brian,
Solo Wookiee.
Solo Wookiees in it, and I posted it, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And I think they're sold out.
Did they
now.
finally sell out?
I think they sold out. There's another place that you could get them, but I think Hive Comics sold out.
Well, I know there was only 500 copies of the color and 250 copies of the black and white. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
But it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles variant.
Wow.
Yeah,
The only bummer is
sure,
it doesn't come out till August.
yeah, but there they are right there. Let me make my screen full here.
Oh my God, that thing is fucking awesome. Big shout out to those guys at Hive Comics for doing this. I wanted to, and I forgot, I spaced it today, but I wanted to reach out to the guys and try to get them on the show to talk about this because this is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, The Last Ronin, that comes out later this summer. And that's issue 1 variant cover. It's the Hive, and I can't remember the other company that they're working with variant cover. But
Yeah.
I like both covers, but just there's something about the black and white with the red splash on it that just
Awesome.
I had to have.
Phenomenal. I just couldn't when you know what I mean. $25 for a comic, that's cool. But it was like $55 plus $10 to ship. I was just like,
Well, when I saw that it's only 250 print run, I was like, I got it. That book's gonna be worth money.
When you got the money that Matt does, it really is only a minor inconvenience.
It's no more different than if I were to buy a video game. It's not like it's that
but
jacked
it's not.
amount of money.
But it's not.
I'm surprised Matt hasn't got his fat stacks of cash and put them against his face.
Oh, I'm not rapper status, bro. I'm not that hooked up.
Not that we know.
But yeah, I'd love to reach out to the guys at Hive Comics and have them come on and talk about that, like that cover, like and behind what went into it, and it would be cool to talk to those guys about it. And so if anybody happens to know the guys at Hive Comics that had put that out, reach out to them. I'm gonna have Matt reach out to them after the show.
That's right.
I like how it went from I want to reach out to them to I'm gonna have Matt reach out to them.
The voice of the podcast needs
Yeah.
to reach out.
I mean, he's the host of the #1 geek podcast in the Phoenix area, and he's the most staffed. You might as well do it.
I mean, I can't even. I couldn't even say it any better, Corbin. I thank you for saying it so perfectly.
I mean, listen, I say nose goes with most money. Oh, it's Matt. There
Yep.
it is. Done. All right, I'm done. Anyway, yeah, that book, I'm really excited for The Last Ronin. I'd actually watched the WonderCon panel between Kevin Eastman and I guess the guy he reunited with to create this book.
Laird.
And how excited they were. There you go. And it was like the WonderCon online panel that came out maybe 2 weeks ago. And so I listened to it. It was really interesting to see their thought process and how it was kind of inspired from Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, and I thought that was kind of cool as well.
I wish I was wiping my ass with cashmere toilet paper, fucking Michael.
It's in the mail. Don't let him fucking fool you.
Right. But he can say what he wants, but real folks know the truth.
But this is my first time doing something like this that we did with this Ninja Turtles book. I've never
Yeah, me too.
I've gone on like J. Scott Campbell's and bought covers from him, and it's taken months to get them. But I've never done one of these like comic exclusives where I've paid for it months in advance. I've never done this before, so this is like
Doubly exciting for you.
new territory for me. Like I canceled it like 3 times. The whole transaction. Like I would get all the way to pay and it would be like confirm and I'd click out of everything because like I was even hesitant to do it just because I've never done it before.
And it's
This
different.
guy's like, I fucking did it. I dropped that $60 like it was fucking nothing because I fucking just throw fat stat. I was like, fuck it. If Matt can do it, I can do it.
I wish yeah, that's
So
true.
he's like, I did it too. And I was like, oh fuck, I have to be a follower now.
Solo Wookiee was trying to go bigger than me. He was like, I want all 4 covers, but they were sold out.
Dude, he makes that Haskins Electric money, dude. You don't
I'm
even
about to say he's a hardworking man who gets the money, and when you make it, you have to spend it. I support that. It's not handed to him, you know.
He's not even in the chat. He's over watching the Hot 10 right now.
Right.
Exactly.
We
But
got
shout
quite the
out.
bails on us.
Yeah, and then he's gonna get the same show here in a few minutes, anyways. When Brian comes back.
Well, there's yeah.
I think, honestly, between just the two of us, since nobody else is here, I honestly think Solo Wookiee has a crush on Brian. Like, I think there's a real, true man crush. Don't tell anybody. Like, this is just between the three of us. Like, I don't want anybody else to know.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, every time I talk to him, it's like, Brian this and Brian that and Brian show and I saw this, Brian said this, and I'm doing this because Brian, like, dude, if you really want to put a ring on it, you know what I mean?
If you want to ship
But like, don't say anything. I don't want to like embarrass Chad, and I don't want to embarrass Brian. Like, it's just the three of us talking.
Chat, it's just Solo Wookiee.
Or Solo Wookiee. It's just the three of us talking, so like, nobody else knows. But like, dude, there's nothing wrong with man crushes. I get it.
No, a good man crush is shit.
When Matt's drunk, man, he's got a Kyle man crush, and it's fine, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's true.
But we just don't say things. I don't want to embarrass Solo Wookiee though, or Brian.
Of course.
All right, thank you guys.
He's a whore. Solo Wookiee's a whore. He's got to pay for it. Whore.
I may need his abilities with which to.
I'm gonna buy Brian's books. I'm Solo Wookiee. Brian's books are the best.
Corbin's got a next time baby pile up Brian's.
Well, it's a this time baby, and I'm making a new next time baby at Brian's. It's gonna be a mess. I have that set aside. I made a bid for a Spider-Man Hobgoblin book that I which one was it?
First appearance?
No, I think it was the second one. Not the one where he rips the costume in half. The next one.
I know someone's got that book.
Anyway, I didn't think I'd win the bid, but I did. Now I feel like I wish I hadn't. So that ate me some money, and it happened like maybe 30 minutes ago. Congratulations! And I was like, shit. Because I had money to play with, and now I have money to pay Brian and maybe possibly get some more books. It depends on what we see.
Brian?
Hey, his books, man. I mean, I haven't seen yours yet, Kyle. So all due respect.
Shit.
Okay, his books were like
Kyle's
long
got
box.
a fire
long
collection
box.
too. Don't
It's
let him
okay.
lie to you.
Yeah, but nobody in this world has trades. That hurts me.
Nobody in this world has what?
The trades.
I've got trades. Trades for dates. Yeah, nobody cares about trades.
I'm a trade guy. You know me.
So Norman Reedus has said "fuck yeah" to play in Ghost Rider. Do you think he'd make a good Ghost Rider?
No.
You don't think he'd make a good Johnny Blaze?
No.
You know why? This is why. Because
an awesome
Norman
Johnny
Reedus
Blaze.
is the kind of actor. He's like Will Smith. It's Norman Reedus in a movie. He doesn't actually like. He's not actually a character. It's just Norman Reedus playing somebody as Norman Reedus. Same thing as Will Smith. Same as Nicolas Cage. It's just like watch him in The Walking Dead. Watch him in The Boondock Saints. The only difference is his hair's longer in Walking Dead. That's it.
Yeah.
Same. He doesn't. He has no depth
Like as a character or as an actor?
as an actor. There's no depth to him. There's a square. Norman Reedus is out in it, and he doesn't expand out of that box. Like he plays himself, and he's made a whole career out of it, just like Will Smith has, just like Nicolas Cage has. Don't get me wrong, I love him in Walking Dead, but he's just him being him with memorized lines that somebody else wrote. He's not actually like a character. He's just being himself.
Yeah, it's just him being. It's like a different actor coming in and just being. What's one actor who plays himself no matter what he's in? Like, or Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. Like, they are who they are, no matter where they're at.
Nicolas Cage.
There you go.
It's the same thing. Even when he was Ghost Rider, it's the same.
Exactly.
You just insert him in role. Like, why do you think he'd be such a good? Why he'd be good in it, Matt?
I just think I like Norman Reedus as an actor. I think he'd be a good Johnny Blaze, and he kind of brings that. I think he could bring that intensity that you need with Ghost Rider. I think he does a good job as Daryl Dixon. I do, yeah.
But he doesn't he's just him. He's not actually acting.
He's a great line regurgitator.
I don't think that's true, because if you watch him on Ride, his show on AMC, he's a lot more laid back. He's not as intense as Daryl is, and he's more of he's a gentle guy, and I think he'd do a good job playing him. I don't know. That's
look
just
at
me
him in
personally.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
And then compare him to how he is in Walking Dead.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It's not a huge difference. Like, he could be a cool, laid back guy, but what he plays, it's the same.
Yeah.
There is no.
He doesn't take you out of that like some of these actors do, where you watch him in a movie and you're like, oh, that's not, you don't see that actor.
Like
you see
Joaquin
the character.
Phoenix. Yeah. I don't see Joaquin Phoenix. Even when he was, I didn't like Joker. I didn't care for it, but like, I didn't see Joaquin Phoenix. That is what I think is awesome about him. Him and the dude that plays Magneto, Fassbender.
Like a Fassbender.
Whatever that dude plays in, I don't see that dude. Like, it's different. Like, the way he acts in one movie is not the same, and that's where I think Norman Reedus and like Will Smith and stuff fell. It's like
Will Smith.
Like,
thank you.
Joaquin Phoenix, like he's not the same kind of character in each thing that he plays.
He is overrated and everything.
See, but like for me, Tom Cruise, I don't see Tom Cruise. I see him as Maverick and everything from Top Gun. So like when you watch Cocktail, it's just Maverick tendon bar. Like watch Days of Thunder, it's just Maverick.
It's the same
Maverick
thing.
traded in his jet for a race car.
Well, because Tom Cruise isn't a diverse actor.
Yeah.
He's just Tom Cruise.
But I don't see Tom Cruise. I see Maverick. That it's the weirdest thing for me. It's like I'm not like, oh, it's Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. To me, it's like it's Maverick in Mission Impossible.
What about Robert Downey Jr.?
He's a diverse actor.
Yeah.
Like
Have you seen Tropic Thunder?
You know what? It's been fun, guys. It's been really real.
But when he played, like he like look at that movie where he's a lawyer and he was having the problems with his dad. It wasn't the same kind of mentality as he is as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like you see the difference, and like Norman Reedus, Will Smith, you don't see that. It's just Will Smith. The way he is in Independence Day is the same way he is when he's fighting zombies.
All the time. True.
That's even that depth though. Like with Robert Downey Jr. is I was joking about Tropic Thunder, but in Tropic Thunder you give him that credit because he's an actor portraying another person. So it's kind of that Inception. Helmet ass. What the hell's helmet ass?
You didn't read it all, did you?
Oh, Tropic Thunder drives my tropical Black Ranger helmet ass.
There you go. Anyway, I get what you're saying. True.
But
that's the only reason why I said it would just be cool to get somebody that would actually like immerse into the character. And Norman Reedus isn't going to do that. He's just going to be Norman Reedus like he is in everything else he's ever been in.
That's all he knows to do.
Yes.
Couch Crunchers is saying you could argue that Will Smith is different in Ali in Pursuit of Happiness.
I mean, I could argue a lot of things that aren't worth arguing about.
I mean, okay.
I get what you're saying.
Everybody gets one.
That's true.
Tell him, Peter. Apparently, everyone gets one.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, though, because I used to think of Will Smith as just being... Is my mic? Yeah. I used to just think of Will Smith as being the same. That's a good point, I guess. I don't know. He's still, even then, though, like, he gave more range to that performance, and again, I'm speaking out of my element here as far as acting is concerned. When I see Will
You freeze.
Smith movie, even down to what Gemini Man, he was playing twice. Like I don't know. I thought you froze. Can you hear me?
We
Matt?
can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
So
Like Jamie Foxx, like he's another one that's like he's very diverse in everything that he does. He doesn't really play the same type of character. Like I don't know, but you know what?
Or
Even at 7 pounds, it was just Will Smith.
just a song, I guess.
Or you
Everything
get,
around it was more drama, but Will Smith was Will Smith. It was,
Samuel Jackson plays himself in everything he's in.
yes, but it's almost like he's doing it as a parody of himself. Like he knows that he's doing it. Like they write those parts so that he does that. You know what I mean? Like it's almost him parodying himself. That's how I see it. But I don't know.
Oh.
That's just me.
fucking the most
I mean,
egregious.
I get like it's like a joke on itself.
The most egregious violator of that is fucking oh my god, I can't think of his name now.
That's how good it is.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah, we said that first. Where have you been, Matt?
Nicolas Cage is just Nicolas Cage and everything. Even
Kyle, we mentioned this like 7-8 minutes ago.
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember Nicolas Cage being talked about.
It's one of the first ones I ever said. I even did that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I even did.
I've been trying to secure my Rascals pre-order. All right.
I guess somebody is busy. Like you can't do it at 9 o'clock.
Exactly. Or when we interviewed the guy.
Hey,
Right.
I'm like Kyle. I don't like to put my credit card out there. I like to do everything through PayPal.
I do
dropped
too.
everything
Like
to Peach
if
Momoko.
he had done it through PayPal, I already would have done it.
I get what you mean. Did PayPal for the Final Ronin?
I did do PayPal for Final Ronin. Yes.
I feel you.
Yep, I did too.
I support the big ones over the small time people myself too.
Like normally, all the way up until like the last book I bought from Jesse, like yesterday, was I bought a $2 book from him. All the way up until yesterday, he's always PayPal'd me because he knew I've always preferred PayPal. Yesterday, he sent me this invoice through some dumb thing called Square Up, where you can only use your credit card, Google Pay, or Apple Pay.
Wow.
So like he kept sending me these. It may have been more than 2 days ago because he sent me two late day notices because I didn't really want to do it because I had to put my credit card on and I didn't really want to do it.
It was just, I guess PayPal's easier for y'all, or just got my card out like I'm singing myself around.
It's just more secure. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So I'm not typing all I'm doing is clicking PayPal.
Yeah, and it's safer, it's more secure, and you get that guarantee that if you're going to get your money back if something happens. So.
Yeah, and if like something happens to like Square Up, and then I have to call my credit card, and I have to dispute charges, and then I have to wait for shit to come back. You know what I mean? Like with PayPal, it's just that one charge that I made that I can agree or disagree with. If you put your credit card on, something happens, I have to go back and you know what I mean, and like
go through all the muddling of that.
Try to get lots of money back.
I get you. That's fair enough.
It's just
more
I don't know. Like I would rather PayPal Rascals dude's money. I'd rather just PayPal it to him.
Yeah.
Personally, friends and family it to him. He could add it to the Kickstarter himself, and then he could send me my books. Like, I wish Gregory would let me do that. I didn't ask him, but
well,
I didn't think about it
either.
either.
I actually just thought about it.
Just came to your mind. I feel you.
Matt can message him and ask, "Did you already order your book, Matt?"
Yeah, I did.
Oh fuck.
I can ask him though, because he just messaged me.
Yeah, ask him.
Kyle wants to know.
I'm a diva.
Live on air.
Now we're putting him on the spot. He has to say yes. It's just the way it is.
He has no other option.
PayPal You guys
Why is Justice League Unlimited in my head?
money for the book, and you just send him that book versus going through
He types this slow in real life.
Indiegogo.
Right.
For real.
Just tell him I don't like putting my credit card online.
I might have to start doing that because I just put my credit card. It's already auto saved.
No, I anywhere that I don't have to, I don't at all.
And I don't even think twice about it. Yeah, just like, oh, well, here it is. Oh, that's why I've spent so much change on comics.
Too fucking. It's
The question has been proposed, sir.
If not, I mean, I'll make an exception for Gregory. It's cool, man. It's Couch Crutchers called you out.
He knows that I type faster than that.
Yeah. Just depends how mad Matt is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I
Depends on
realize
how fired up I am about
If he's
it.
fired up, man, they're coming back so
I
fast.
make one joke. I can't even say JK before Matt has an entire paragraph on.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, first of all, da-da-da.
He's on the ball.
Third of all, da-da-da. And I'm like, I didn't even
Then he
have to.
feels bad for doing it.
Yeah. No, I'll be like, dude, I was.
Justifying it.
Yeah, I'll be like, dude, I was just kidding. Oh yeah, I know. No, the hell you didn't know. Don't
But-
pretend I was kidding.
Blah, 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 blah,
It
blah.
hurt my feelings.
And blah, 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 blah. But,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Thirdly, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da,
No,
you're-
no, okay. You want to out me, Corbin? Let's get into this. So the other morning, Corbin's gonna be
Let
on
me
Couch
go get my
Crunchers.
popcorn.
Corbin's gonna be on Couch Crunchers tomorrow. And yesterday morning, I'm just waking up, and the kid, instead of sending someone's, I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody, like hearing
Oh,
myself
hold on.
double.
Me.
So the first thing I get when I wake up is a voice memo from Corbin that says, "Oh, by the way, you guys like to bust on Couch Crunchers and give them shit."
No, I didn't say you guys. I said you.
Okay, you like to bust on Couch Crunchers and give them shit in a friendly way, but you know they're putting me in their show promo, and they've got me on their Facebook thumbnail, and you guys don't do that for me. You never do that for me. And I go, you know what? I brought you on our show as a host. You are in all of our banners and promos for the show banners. You're here every week, and you want to give me this shit?
And then I'm over here. I was gonna talk about comics with my introduction. I just threw it out there.
Corbin's
And I'm
jelly,
over there.
he's not on the thumbnails.
And
No,
I said,
I told him that. I said, "Oh, you want to be? You know what? You want to go that way, Matt? You want to go that way? I'm pulling receipts. I'm pulling receipts right now. Where is this at? Where is this at? Give me a second.
what
Do it, do
receipts
it.
are you pulling?
Great. Pull them all.
Right. Yeah. One sec. I'm
Oh no,
pulling.
I let you have it. I'm not even fucking.
I
I'm not
wasn't
even
even.
going that-
I only went up there to make fun of. I started off with that because why not? But I wanted to talk about for the spinner rack. How instead of picking up the Joker comic, I ended up picking up a $1 Batman comic. But I figured I'd rag on Matt a little bit. I love ragging on Matt. Absolute Geek Money, this and that. And he fired up. This and that. If you like Couch Cruncher so much, they can have you. You can just go over there. Every time he gets money, he's kicking me off the show. Every time he does that, I'd be like, dude, you got that Absolute Geek Money. Oh, I don't have that Absolute Geek Money. If you want to talk about money, you can just go join Couch Crunchers. Like it doesn't matter what I say. Good morning, Matt. The sun's out. Oh, I didn't ask for the sun's out. You want to see the sun out somewhere?
Hey, don't poke a sleeping bear, man.
Dude, honestly, Matt has been on one all week.
For real.
He
You
is
know
the-
what? Grizzle Geek, I got you on the thumbnail. I didn't even care. For the record, the thumbnails, whatever. I am proud of being a part of this show. I love talking with my friends about
Very
comics,
true, Vance.
whatever. I can't make a joke apparently. I should have made it with Kyle. Kyle would have understood and not try to ship me off to Siberia or Couch Crunchers or any other podcast. You just every time he's upset, you can just go join up. Just as if it's Siberia or something. Hey man, that book looks so pricey. You gonna tell me what prices? You want to talk about prices? You can just go talk to Couch Cruncher. They can talk everything.
It's not.
I took you off the streets. I gave you a chance. You were nothing before
Look,
me.
it's not my fault.
The couch coach.
Look, you guys sit here and say, oh, Matt's the voice of the show. Matt needs to send these messages because he's the voice of the show. How many thumbnails am I in? And I made them.
Listen, that's on you. You made the thumbnails. I don't know.
It's not my fault that Kyle just gives me the perfect pose.
I appreciated that someone said, hey, you want to be on the show? Oh, why, yes. Oh my gosh, they rendered me accurately. And then I make a simple joke to Matt, and he's like, you know what? You're done. We're banished. We're over with you. Bye. Be gone.
Hashtag Corbin is over party. Look, it's not my fault that I can just go through Kyle's Facebook and he's got a picture that
your
fits
face
perfectly.
Is perfect, your angle. That's what I got, basically.
Yeah.
Rendering mindset on them.
It's hard to be a
you
super
render their faces is so perfect. This is what Couch Cruncher said.
Okay,
Kyle
from now on,
is-
Corbin, every week I'm gonna be like, all right, I need you to send me. I need you to send me a picture doing this pose right now.
That's not what I
No,
asked.
that's how it's happening. That's how it's happening now. I will put you in everything. I will put you in
That's not
everything
what I want.
because
That's not
I
what I
use
want.
real pictures and Photoshop them into them. I don't draw cartoon
You tried to
heads.
spit me
Hold on.
off.
Do they have cartoon heads?
Couch
Yeah,
Crunchers
it's
does,
fucking
yeah.
Cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, I wanted some cartoon heads.
I mean, but it's okay.
I got a
'cause
cartoon
if
head,
your
but
head
Matt
isn't
has one.
facing straight, Matt won't use you. Sorry. And then if you dare say a word to him, he will have you gone quicker than you say Couch Crunchers.
Nah, Brian's been in a lot of them. Brian's been in a lot of our thumbnails.
Ship glass out of town quicker than you can say 4 couch cushions.
By the way,
Just saying.
That was a good one, Corbin.
that was a good
That
one.
was a good one, Corbin.
I like the other day in our chat where Tim, which is not in the chat, he was all proud. He got a Batman Adventures 12 from his local comic book store for his wife. He got one for $200. It's probably like a 3.5 maybe. You got it for $200. I think it's $200. And Matt was like, "Look what I just got."
No. We're gonna tell the story. If you're gonna throw me under the bus, we're gonna tell it right. So Tim goes, "Look what I just got for $200." And he shows it. Kyle's like, "Oh, cool! I got that book." So I felt left out. So I went on eBay.
I said, "Now look, we're twinsies."
Yeah,
And I posted a picture of it on our chat.
and I felt left out. So I was like, "Look what I got!" So I went on eBay and took a picture off and was
you
like,
went and trolled us. So he posted a
Call it out.
eBay picture of an 8.5. Look what I got for $200. And I'm like, he is so full of shit. I'm going to prove that he is so full of shit right now that you can't even stack it that high. And I flipped over to Tim personally and I said, "Watch this. Watch this." So I went on to eBay and he said, "I just got it off of eBay." And I was like, "Cool." So I went eBay, Batman Adventures 12, 8.5, CGC, recent, sold. Not one $200 8.5. So I looked through and I took off 8.5 CGC in case it was because of titles. And then so I went, you know what? I know exactly what this motherfucker just did right here. So I took off the sold listings, 8.5, first listing, bam. I went to the picture Matt posted.
Line it up.
2166458 with there. This motherfucker right here. Right. Called his card. I fucking called his card. I fucking posted that shit as this motherfucker's trolling us.
Wow. And there you go.
It was worth a shot.
"It was."
I mean, he tried
It was
it. He
fun.
tried
And
it.
he didn't feel left out. He just
I felt
wanted to
left out.
troll us.
Of course.
Because at first I was like, "Congrats," and I was like, "There's no way on earth he got an 8.5 for $200."
I
Dreams
was
through
I
your
was
R
surprised it took him
unicorn?
that long to call me out. I figured the minute I posted, he would have been like, "Bull fucking shit," because I've been buying nothing but Spider-Man books. So why would I go after a Batman Adventures 12 the same day? Fucking Tim is just like, "Look what I got."
Because it's hard to pass up good. And at first I was like, you know what? Everybody has gotten that killer deal on eBay. That unbelievable deal. It happens. But I was like, it's like at first I was like, "Congrats, nice pickup," and I was like, "There's no way he got that motherfucker for $200. That is way too fucking cheap. There's just no way." And I thought, and part of me was like, maybe the price went down. Maybe maybe it's not a hot item as as it once was. So hell no.
See, if it was any
Hell no.
Oh, you like?
He paid fair market value for a 3.5.
Wow, he tried to pull a fast one. He tried.
And at first, but Matt's been buying so many graded books that at first I was like, okay, you know.
I'm just saying, if anyone else had done it to him, he trying to pull a fast one, try to tell a story. I know a great podcast, lots of stories every Saturday night.
Couch crunchers to tell that story.
Exactly. Get your ass over the couch crunchers. So I'm grateful.
Have you guys talked about PlayStation stuff?
No, I have not talked about my wireless router yet.
Oh man, the PS5.
You got the toaster in the Nintendo Switch, the fridge in the new Xbox, and now your wireless router in the PS5.
That's what people gonna get when they order from Wish. I saw that and I was like, yeah.
I'm gonna have to get one day one now though, because just for Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, I'm super stoked, man. That looked amazing.
That is pretty sick.
I'm glad that they're using it as one of their what do they call
titles.
that initial release games or something like
title.
that. Yeah.
So that NOS Miles Morales cover is it's on the Hot 10 this week.
$100 book.
$150 book.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. It's $150 book.
I think I have that graded as a 9.8, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Anybody for sale?
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker's got Volkswagen parts to buy.
Ah. So the list this week. You guys want to go over it real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
So the list this week is crazy.
No, Couch Crunchers, that's not correct. They said it was DLC for the remastered. It is not. They have confirmed that it is going to be a standalone game. They came out and confirmed today that it's going to be a standalone game.
Thank God. All right, so the list this week is crazy because of Miles, and it's just been crazy stuff the last couple months.
I should have never given you my fucking
second print. It's all right, dude. That thing's gonna be hard to sell anyways because of the rip.
Yeah.
So everything's been crazy every week. Either has to do with Star Wars craziness, Miles Morales craziness, or Peach Momoko craziness. There's been
look, Brian's back and Solo Wookiee's back.
Oh my gosh, the resemblance is there? Yeah. Coincidence? I think not.
What's that?
Every time, nothing. I can't. Let's see. I'm just saying. I agree, Brian. You're back and Solo Wookiee, and we were like, oh, cool.
So Star Wars, War Adventures, number 13 is our first honorable mention, and this is a 6.5 sold at auction this week for $1,900 plus, which is pretty amazing because the same exact book sold 4 months ago for $500. So it's golden age books, especially these kind of like crazy covers, are just ridiculously volatile right now, and the market is doing this and this. There's a lot of money to be made if you know what you're doing and picking up and selling these books. This one of the crazy things that Ben brings up in writing this week's list has to do with this book, and he says, quote, "It's another crazy cover that was definitely a sign of the times in the 50s. What boundaries will covers from 2020 push?" And that's a very interesting question because we're living in some crazy fucking times. I mean, it hasn't been this crazy since World War II. And if you look at some of those crazy covers, could we start seeing some of this, the covers of books now start to kind of go back and kind of push the boundary on some of these things, whether it be social issues or not? We've already talked about Denny O'Neil and stuff. But some of these older covers push the boundaries back then on stereotypes and all kinds of craziness, which, in my opinion, it wasn't good, but it does bode well for collectibles for some reason. People just love to collect that. And, this book is just going crazy. So Golden Age stuff is always fun. The second honorable mention this week is Punisher number 13 from 2019. This kind of has to do with the The storyline is about, Punisher and not wanting to work with the cops and this and that. And we all know Punisher is a vigilante. So there's a little controversy over this book and why it's selling because of kind of what's going on in our country right now. I'm not a big fan of
topical.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this book. I don't see any reason for it to continue to climb. It's just, but people spend their money the way they want, and they're buying this book, and this book is selling in the $5 to $10 range, if not more. And yeah, it is what it is.
Because it can't be what
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it can't be what it's not. Have me deaf. Sorry.
This is one of my favorite covers on the list this week. We all know I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan. I have my own G.I. Joe figure. He's named the Rapper. And I love Snake Eyes also. So big, huge fan of this cover just because I like the red and the way it plays off on the rest of the darker tones of the cover. And it's always cool to see the Arashikash symbol, which is the tattoo on his shoulder. And I will probably geek out one day and try to find a place to get that tattooed on me, just because I'm a huge fucking G.I. Joe fan, and all G.I. Joe fans have to have the Arashikash symbol tattooed on them because I said so. But yeah, this is a $100 book right now, raw, and which is crazy. It wasn't pushing that last week. A couple months ago, you could have got this book for $14 shipped. So craziness.
For real.
Make some money. This is again G.I. Joe 212, the Antonio Fuso variant, which also begins the Death of Snake Eyes storyline, which is a huge storyline, not in just G.I. Joe comics, but comics in general. Number 9. This is a lot of people's favorite book. If you don't know about this book, this is New Guardians number 2 from, I believe, the 80s. And, of course, we all know what happened in the 80s. You had the cocaine/crack cocaine epidemic. And they were kind of trying to push the bad guys off anywhere they could, including comics. And the villain in this issue, the first appearance of a villain named Snowflame, who gets his powers from using cocaine. And the cover kind of says that. And you got to love the jungle snow on the bottom. So this book was a book you could have found for years in dollar bins, and people just wanted it and loved it, but it never really got high in value until now. This book is selling around $35 to $50, which is crazy. You can still find this book in dollar bins, $2 bins, $3. What's that, Kyle?
How many of these you got? 5?
Oh, I probably got 5 or 6. I just got to find them. You guys saw all the mountain craziness of comic boxes in that room, and there's got to be a couple in there somewhere, no doubt. On to number 8, and this is another interesting one. This kind of plays off the whole the Yellow Hulk craziness that we had a couple weeks ago. This is the first appearance of the Gold Green Lantern. The first Gold Green Lantern is what they're calling it. This is Legion of Superheroes number 6 from 2020. $15 to $20 out the gate, and I don't know what I think about this book, but you never know. Green Lantern stuff is going to go crazy here in the next couple of years, and I don't know if there ever was a Gold Lantern before this. There's been some rumors that there may have been Gold Lantern stuff done already. I've heard rumors of maybe it being in one of the Walmart books that they're selling. So if that's the case, maybe go check that out. And if we hear anything about it, by next show we'll let you know. But I don't know much about this character other than this is why the book is hot. It's because of the new Gold Lantern. Have you guys heard anything about it?
I haven't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen this before. I like it though.
Yeah, I'm cool.
It's an interesting, unique cover. There you go.
Yeah, I like Dr. Fate. I'm a Dr. Fate fan. I love the concept of Dr. Fate. So, yeah, it's cool. Number 7. Here you go, Chad. Solo Wookie is gonna fall in love with this book if he doesn't already own a ton of them. This is Star Wars: The Age of the Republic Special #1, the Osage Ventress cover. Beautiful Osage Vintage cover. This is the Koi Fam variant. $5 to $10 last week, and now it's $80 to $100 book. This has Ahsoka in continuity, so it's a real big deal, and people love Osage Ventress. They love the cover. Good luck finding it if you don't already own it.
Cool
And
lightsabers.
what's that?
Cool lightsabers.
Oh, yeah, man. Fucking love the lightsabers.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, you guys can kind of see the play off of Count Dooku, and she was Count Dooku's, not Padawan, what do they call the Sith? Apprentice, yeah. So that's kind of with the lightsabers there. Osage Ventress story is awesome. If you guys don't know about Osage Ventress, ask Solo Wookiee. I'm sure he'll love to talk about that all day, every day.
Yes, that's like one of his favorite characters.
Yep. Number 6, Return of the Last of Us. This book has been on the list multiple times in the last 4 or 5 months. There is a hard to find variant of this. This book is super, super hard to find and high grade. And with the release of the PS5, I guess maybe is pushing this a little bit more on top of the show. And I think there's a new one that just came out or is coming out. Do you know anything about that, Matt?
Last of Us Part 2 is coming out later this year.
Okay. So this kind of settled in at about the $75 range last couple of weeks, but the commercial for The Last of Us 2 has really shot this up, and prices are 110 plus. Good luck finding this in high grade. So just be warned, this is a tough book to find in high grade. Number 5 is Batman 92. This awesome Punchline variant. This is the George Jimenez 1 in 25 variant. It was pre-selling back, when COVID started for about $50. And when it was released on Tuesday, copies were selling in the $30 to $35 range, which was pretty shitty.
That's cover price. That is shop out the door cover price.
Yeah.
At $30.
Yeah, and because it was so hyped, the price, people figured that the price would continue to fall. But it's the opposite that's happening. And once people, know about this book and there's more hype around it, recent sales are back in the $45 to $50 range. There's been a ton of sales and a ton of Punchline books are selling. But be on the lookout because her origin is going to be coming up in that Joker.
Yeah, it came out this week too.
Okay. So go buy that Joker War book for her origin. That will be a very, very hot book in the next coming months if Punchline character continues to do good. One of the things that was brought up on Punchline on the Hot 10 show, Mel kind of talked about how it reminds him of the whole Kill Bill stuff, and I thought that was interesting.
Interesting. Like a homage?
Yeah, like either homage to the Kill Bill or, people are talking about her. Yeah. And well, not only that, one of the things that I talked about is you remember Kingsman, the first movie, and the what's his name that played the bad guy?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Sorry, cannabis. It's a bitch. Samuel L. Jackson had that his little evil apprentice that was with him, and this character kind of reminds me of her. But it'll be interesting to see where this character lands and if they continue to use her well. And, she's going to be really dark and dangerous and violent. And hopefully they'll stay with that or kill her off. Because if they don't stay that route, I really don't see any use for this character.
Solo Wookiee just asked Corbin, since he's the Batman guy, if Punchline is going to hold or if it's hype.
Interesting.
And
Perfect timing.
And Corbin just left.
We'll make sure to ask him. Number 4, the start of the Miles craziness. This is
that's a sick ass variant.
This is an interesting one. This is Spider-Man 2 #1, the Michael Turner Virgin variant out of 1,000. Now this isn't Michael Turner art. It comes from Michael Turner's company Aspen, who still does exclusive variants. And this is a Tedesco cover and a beautiful Tedesco cover. Probably one of the best covers on the list. And it's going crazy. 150 plus, and the regular cover is selling for $20. But this one is just doubled in price this week alone, raw. And the only problem is if there's just miraculously new copies, more than 1,000 copies seem to show up out of nowhere. Aspen has been notorious for saying that there's a short print run and then copies just seem to show up, which is not a good thing. And if there's anybody out there that is thinking about maybe doing an exclusive variant, print run is key. Keep it low. I know a lot of comic shops and online retailers that do exclusive variant nowadays. Depending on what publisher they do it with, they have to buy so many books just to have an exclusive variant. So say Marvel says, well, you have to buy at least 1,000 in order to get in our, variant program. Well, they buy 1,000 and then they say, okay, there's only 500 available. There's only 500 printed. Well, they can say that because they have to destroy the other 500. And if it comes out that you didn't destroy the other 500, your name is mud. So be very careful about playing around with print run. Not only can it ruin your name in this community, but it also can ruin the community because playing with print runs and rarity, that could take us back to the 90s, and we don't want that.
Wow, that's true.
What do you guys think? That's a beautiful cover. I love that cover.
It's a dope cover.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I love those dark covers.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Got to have a Peach Momoko cover on the list. Of course, this is Strange Academy #1, the Peach Momoko Virgin variant out of 600. This is a Scotty Young written book. The art inside is Humberto Ramos. eBay pre-sales were a month ago were around $40, and 9.8s were around $110. But right now, raw sales are topping $110, and 9.8s are topping $150, which is crazy. And, Ben writes, like her or not, Peach stuff is selling like crazy right now. Please also keep in mind that she has a lot of pre-sale books out at the moment. And this list only considers books that are alive. So if people are going, how come this book isn't on there? How come this Peach Momoko book is on there? Well, those books aren't out yet. So, and I'm sure a lot of people are taking a look at the No Heroine books and some of the other cool variants.
Mm-hmm.
On to #2, it is More Miles, and this is the book we were talking about. This is the Nas Illmatic hip-hop cover homage. You have multiple things going for you. You have one of the greatest albums of all time, not just rap albums. This is albums of all time, the infamous 5 Mic album. For those of you guys that don't know, the Source magazine used to rate their albums on a scale of 1 to 5 mics, and they had never given out a 5 mic album until Illmatic by Nas. This is a great cover that just takes you right back with the nostalgia if you grew up in that area. I remember getting that album early on when it first came out and just being absolutely blown away. When people talk about artists, talented music artists out there and talented wordsmiths, I don't think there's many people that will top Nas. So make sure you guys check that out if you hadn't already. But this is the homage cover to Spider-Man #1, the Miles Morales variant, and beautiful, beautiful cover. New York in the background.
All day.
People love these hip-hop covers. They collect them. They try to do.
I bought when this round of all of them came out. I bought a couple of all of them.
It's just so dope. Man. It's just so dope.
Yeah,
I've got crazy.
9.8 graded to that.
Right now, this book is $150 for. Is that for Raws? I believe
that's
Matt.
raw. Yeah.
So I couldn't even imagine what 9.8s are going for. I don't know what to do with this book. Usually, I told Matt this morning. I think Matt showed his cover earlier. He showed me that cover, which is signed, which is a beautiful cover. And
mine signed by Bendis as well.
I suggested earlier this morning that Matt sell it, and now I don't know. Now I think that maybe hold it for a month and even sell it then. I think this book will drop again. Should it? I don't know. Could I be wrong? Who knows? Miles' stuff is super, super nuclear right now, and with the game, you never know. But There's a lot of money to be made in the short sale game with hot comics, and this might be one of them. So think about it long and hard if you need some money. And I know Kyle needs some Volkswagen parts. So if this is a book you're looking for 9.8 and you got $1,000 extra, you might want to give Kyle a call.
Definitely. You call me with $1,000 at book.
Wait.
On to number one. And that Miles book at number 2 was super hot. It was really surprising to have a book beat that out this week, but the craziness that is going on with Ultimate Fallout number 4 is fucking insane.
It's insane.
I never thought we would see
$1,000.
$300 plus for Raws, $1,000 plus for 9.8s. They are doubling in price in less than a month. And at first I thought there was a ton of these books out there. We all thought there was a ton of these books out there, but the print run isn't that big for this book. It's about 70,000, which isn't that big for a Marvel book, especially an event book. And we all know the nightmare that happened with the poly bag in this book. Very hard to get this book in high grade because of the poly bag. But man, some of these, the variants for this run, the second, third, fourth prints for this run, we talked about the fourth print, which is the second print variant, which is the all white cover that has the close up of Miles pulling off the mask. That book has gone crazy too, and that book was a $1 bin book.
Everyone's just trying to grab whatever they can that's got Miles.
Yeah, early appearances of Miles, hard to find variants. A great book to this day, I believe it's a Tedesco variant, is that one where it's Miles and Spider-Gwen on the cover. I forget which book that was, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. That variant's got to be just outrageous right now. It's got to be nuclear.
It's a Spider-Gwen book, isn't it?
It's either that or Spider-Man.
I know variant. I have that book. I can't remember if it's Spider-Gwen or if it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's a super beautiful book, super hard book to find.
You notice the one book, Miles, that isn't going all over the place is Miles is number 1.
It is. If you look, it is in a weird way. Okay, so Miles number 1 isn't as crazy as all these, but if you look at that previews, which is Marvel's previews for that cover, which came out before Ultimate Fallout 4. That book is like a $400 previews, which is crazy. I was in a comic shop the other day and I saw a couple previews, the big previews, and I had to go to the middle just to check to see if the Marvel's previews were in there. I don't even know which one that comes from, but I'm checking every previews to see if the Marvel sampler is inside, just to check if it's the Miles sampler, because that thing's going crazy. But you're right, Matt. I see that book shooting up too in no time. But we'll see. Miles right now is nuclear. He's more than anything, what Miles brings to the table is young blood into the game. Young fans. We need young fans in the comic community. We need young energy in the comic community. And I'm not talking about people that are, in their late 20s or early 20s. I'm talking about, 8-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids. We don't have that in the comic community like we used to. And Miles and Gwen and Star Wars, Ahsoka, that's what's bringing those fans into this community. And Miles is doing it more than any other character I can think of. Even more than Harley and Deadpool and all that stuff. Young kids love Miles. They do. It's their Peter. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
Well, like I said, I'm surprised that they're not voting it as, issue 1 is Miles in his costume and then Miles in the new Spider-Man costume. And because Ultimate Fallout 4, he's donning a Halloween Spider-Man costume. He never puts on his red and black suit until the very first issue of that run.
Yep.
So I'm surprised. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that's not a hotter issue than it is right now.
What is that selling for right now? Let me take a look here.
I'm not sure.
Is it Miles Morales, or is
No.
it Spider-Man 2 number 1?
It's just Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. or all new Spider-Man.
Let's see here. It looks like it's going for about $50. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. About
Yeah,
42,
also got his
42
origin.
to 42 to 80, depending on the.
Yeah,
The
you can
listing
pick
and
them up, buy it now. There's $30. Ultimate Comics Only Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, $30, but that's from Mexico, so I don't know if those are. But yeah, there's $52 for 1, 2, 3, and 4 bagged in newsstands. So you can find stuff out there. I would suggest, if you can, look for the variants of that book. Look for the newsstand of that book. There's a sealed poly bag version of number 1 that's up there for $150 right now.
Number 1 they were all in polys.
Yeah,
they were in the white poly bag.
Yeah, the white poly bag. So not the newsstand. The newsstands weren't, I don't believe, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you're right. There is a couple variants for that. There's the Comic Kings variant for that. What else? Of course, there's the newsstand variant. That hip hop cover is from that, if I'm not correct, right?
No, the hip hop cover is from the relaunch.
Okay.
From Miles Morales Spider-Man. It's when.
Okay.
It's from the relaunch.
And there's a Cho variant, which is pretty badass. If I'm looking at it, there's the Ultimate End number 1 Bagley variant that has Morales on it, which is very cool. It's an homage to Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. That might be something people want to look out for. If you look at prices for Ultimate Fallout number 4, the Jurjevic variant, the 1 in 25, thousands of dollars. I mean, thousands of dollars. So Miles is crazy right now. You have to start thinking about him up there with Ahsoka. So very cool stuff.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
times. So Corbin, I saw you sitting in a chat. Solo asked you a question about Punchline. I saw you answering in the chat. You want to go ahead and address it right now?
Just about the character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, do you think she's gonna be worth buying
I
in on,
totally
or buying
Yeah.
and selling on Punchline?
I'm buying in on Punchline. I think just as a character that DC's trying to make it different and not just throw like, oh, it's a Joker adjacent character. They've taken the time to kind of develop her as a character. I think they're continuing on with that. They've given her own identity in the sense that, yes, she's Joker's right-hand woman, she's Joker's girlfriend, but she has her own motivation. This has been like her own like, he's been a goal of hers, but she even developed her own like Joker gas or Joker venom. Like, they're going out of their way to ally her with the Joker, but separate her in a way that I don't want to compare it to Harley Quinn. I feel it's a entirely different character. I mean, obviously it is, but in terms of being independent, someone who can probably carry her own self in her spin-off, in a spin-off episode or something, as a worthy opponent of her own right. So she's someone that DC, for most of this time, when they throw in characters and they run into these new limited series and everything, they're quick to just shoehorn characters in. Different accents happen, boom, check this out, buy the first appearance, whatever. And I feel like with Punchline, they're establishing her roots as a character and fleshing it out more. I like the backstory they gave her. I like the origin they gave her. I like the way they're continuing on, and that's giving me faith that this isn't going to be some fad or some DC just throw the character in, create a buzz. They want this one to stick. They want this one to last. I'm not saying they want another Harley Quinn, but I feel like Punchline is going to be her own character and her own storyline very soon. And I think it's one that's going to be successful because of the groundwork they're putting in now.
Do you feel like maybe DC's almost trying to phase out Harley Quinn because they canceled her standalone series? Now they're bringing in Punchline.
I don't think Harley Quinn is trying to like be shut out entirely, but I agree with you, Matt. Like in the sense of, for this generation, maybe it's run its course. It's a great character. It's now one of DC's legacy characters, and the fact that it was made in house by their Bruce Timm and oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the actual. Yeah, thank you, thank you, Dini. Like the fact that it was done by that is great, but at this point, I think they've run her through so many stories. She's been used in Suicide Squad movie, a Birds of Prey movie. There has been a lot of Harley Quinn, and not that there's some Harley Quinn fatigue, but you have the chance to create a character who can have its own buzz, have something in the comic market reminiscent of Harley Quinn, back in the late 90s. You've had an opportunity to do that. I think DC seizing on that. They're having a love flux. A lot of situations going on right now where they need some reliable good news with the end of 5G and all this up in the air with Dan Didier and everything going on. Sorry, I keep saying it. Didio. So I think that the way they're approaching it is what gives me hope. They could have easily just put Punchline in, gave her a quick backstory, and that had been the end of it.
I like how they establish in Batman 92 that it's not his girlfriend. She is not his girlfriend. She's his partner. So
exactly right. That's not even like a Mercy Graves Lex Luthor situation. Like an entirely separate person who has motivation similar to Joker, is inspired by the Joker, but is her own character. And the way that they're doing it gives me hope. Because I was
explain it to me, because I haven't been reading much about it. Can you explain what her origin is without getting too into it?
I mean, she was a college student, and even when I think there was a scene in where she was basically like all the kids were dressing up as their heroes or whatever for Halloween when she was young, and she dressed up as the Joker, and it was showing like the family's response to that. But as she grew up, I mean, she came in contact with him through the internet. She had developed some of her Joker venom, but basically he kind of like mentored her, and then she used that and she experimented on the homeless community, and then she had this issue. I think it was in school where the college had a superhero day, and she dressed up as the Joker. And the dean went to basically address her, like, "Are you crazy? Like, what's going on?" And then that was when she exposed him to the Joker venom, and that was kind of like the completion of her transformation into that character, from someone who was infatuated and had some knowledge of the Joker and like a super fan to know she's her own person.
So what is she doing now? Is she like? Is she
underboss, like a lieutenant?
Okay.
We don't even really know though, because they're slow playing the shit out of her.
Well,
like,
Mm-hmm.
Like you're seeing her here and there through these issues, but they're slow playing the hell out of her. You don't really even know what her true motive is yet. You don't really know any of that. And like Corbett said, in Joker, the 80th anniversary issue where it has her origin, Joker's there already. And Joker's basically recruiting her. He seeked her out. You know?
And James Tynion said that he wanted this character to be an anti-Harley Quinn. Someone who was quiet, someone who was intimidating, someone who was a killer, and that the Joker was pursuing her. Which is like
DC said, you know what? We're not going to do that.
Well, in a way though, because like even Matt said, because her motivation, I know just from context clues you're reading that she's like a boss partner, whatever, under the Joker. But preparing for this coming war against Batman, Superman, all of that. But what Matt's saying is a perfect point. Normally when Harley Quinn came, boom, she was a great character. She still is, but we knew the motivation, we knew it. The backstory that was fleshed out gave her from a 2-dimensional character to a 3-dimensional character. But Punchline, we're going into her story of her origin. We still don't know what her ultimate endgame is. And DC,
that's actually kind of cool though.
Exactly, but DC in the past has been quick to punchline, take the character and just rub it in and just know everything about them and get excited. And the fact that they're taking it and deliberately slowing it down and making layers to the character is making her more interesting and fleshing her out further. And that's further cementing her in her place right now. Because there's still a whole bunch of loose threads. They could take their time and tie it together. But as the reader, you're going to be sucked in because she's written quite well. At least on the moment, so that's what I think is different.
Yeah, and like I said, Batman 92, Catwoman tells Harley Quinn she's Joker's new girlfriend, Harley, and Punchline's like, no, I'm his partner. So she's quick to correct her, and you get to see the beginnings of the Harley Quinn Punchline throwdown, and but she's got an interesting backstory. I feel like, to me personally, I wish her black backstory was a little bit more, and I'm sure it will be to come. I just think that's the taste of it, that she makes her own Joker toxin and he seeks her out, and she's only a college student. But I think we're going to get more from that. But they are definitely slow playing, releasing information about her.
Ooh, we're getting a slow burn.
And I think, slow burn. I personally think that the Jock variant to Batman the Art Germ variant is way better than the purple variant that's $30 right now.
I just got that from Jesse.
Which one? The Art Germ?
The Art Germ, because I couldn't, shout out to Drawn for, shutting down because, to keep
Have you guys talked about that?
Mm-mm.
No.
I haven't touched on it because I don't know the facts yet. I don't know if it's someone in staff that had it. if a customer
was
came
a
in and
customer.
had it.
It was a customer.
They made it here. They made a post and they said,
Geek's not here for the facts.
now, this was about 5 days ago. They said within the last week, one of our customers had COVID and they came into the store. So as a precaution, they're shutting the store and quarantining and have it quarantined for 2 weeks. They're not doing curbside pickup. They're not doing anything. They're just shutting it down and they're just taking precautions just in case.
Which is smart. It's painful understanding for the short term for the community, for the store, but in general, I see what they're trying to do.
And I said Jock because I had the Jock variant for Joker sitting right here. And I was
Yeah,
looking
you
at
like
it.
that one.
I do.
Let me
like
see that one.
The Jock
That's
one.
pretty cool. I like the Jock one.
Oh wow.
Like I was watching Spinner Rack on Sunday and I was like, ooh,
Shout out to
book. Corbin got me wanting to get some books.
that was a team effort there, yo.
And I was like,
I never thought of hearing.
ooh, I'm gonna go
my
see if
goodness.
John's open. I'm fucking gonna go get my books. And they said, sorry, we're closed for the next 2 weeks. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And not only that, big shout out to Jesse James Comics, who also said, you know what, because we all have customers that go to multiple stores, we're going to do the same. And he's like, we're just not going to take a chance. And so much respect to
Especially since 1,645 cases today got reported.
Yeah. Crazy.
Brian
So
buying in.
shout out
I
to
don't buy into the whole thing. I'm not saying that there's not people out there who are getting sick, but I don't think it's the sickness is as bad as people think it is for people who are not elderly or don't have any hardcore pre-existing conditions.
while
They're
we're
saying right now 22 to 40 is the main group of people that are getting it. The
But they're
elderly
surviving it.
dying from it, but
Yeah.
the 20 to 40 are the people that are getting it.
And
That's
a lot of those people are kicking it in 2 days or 3 days. I mean, it's not that, there's people that, matter of fact, what's his name, who got it? Somebody got it recently, a famous person, and they just got really nailed by it because they weren't in good health at the time. But their mother was 70 years old, and they gave it to their mother, and his mother kicked it in 2 days. So it's just about if you're healthy or not.
It's just your body.
In your body, yeah.
Like there was this heavy metal band, I forget they were called now. He was a drummer, and he was on tour in Europe as it was going before it really was known, but they were still touring. And on their way back, as the whole band got sick. By the time he got back to San Francisco, they had to put him in a medical coma because that's how hard it hit him.
Because his immune system was compromised.
He was in like a satanic heavy metal black band. He said he learned while he was in his coma, he went to hell. And hell isn't a bad place. He learned that heaven is. Heaven is a horrible place. It's worse than hell. But that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. Much respect to that.
He said, I kind of don't believe in the devil like I used to, but I definitely don't want to go to heaven.
Well, while we're giving shout out to Fantastic World, and now officially all 4 of us have been to that shop. Yeah. I went there the other day for the first time. I know last week you said you thought you were the last one, but yeah, I was the last one to go. I went in there finally, picked up some books.
It's a cool store. Cool dude.
Shop. Beautiful shop.
Great spot.
Can't wait to go back again. Great group of guys.
I hope we go tomorrow.
We should. Might be one of the we
but
have to talk about.
Esteban, I want to make sure I told you guys that he's very appreciative of all the love we show them and all the shout outs we give him on the show and all of us stopping by the store and supporting the shop.
It's a great store, man. If you guys live in the Valley, there's no reason why you're not going down there. I mean, you should be supporting everybody. You should be spreading the comic book love
for everyone.
For almost all of the comic book store. Almost, I'm just joking. All the comic book stores here, they all are unique in their own way,
their own flavor, their own personality.
But the thing that still blows me away about Fantastical Comics is just the fucking books that they have just kicking it in that store.
Yep.
Yeah. Matt rolled up and picked like 8-9 keys last week. It's crazy.
Pick up 8-9 keys.
Dude, someone bought a first Kingpin.
I did buy a first Kingpin.
I'm just kidding. I feel you.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Where? It's over by Lance. It's over by
It's in Scottsdale.
the Odyssey place. It's like a mile or two from that Odyssey place.
Ooh.
That's pretty. Pretty.
Right next to a beautiful Wendy's, I might add.
Or White Castle. It's just down the road from White Castle.
Wait in line for a couple hours. I mean, listen, that's an excursion right there.
Man, I think we should go hit up the
I'll
store
be
tomorrow. We
watching
should
it
text
live.
him and make sure that Ish is going to be there.
Storm the
Yeah.
store.
You know what? I'm on it now. I'm texting Ish now.
Just storm the store.
Dude, and if anybody's listening that's local here that wants to like message us and see I'm pretty sure we're going to be out and about tomorrow, right?
Whole crew,
Is
yeah.
that our plan?
That's
You know,
I'm
to be honest, what we should do is we should try and maybe if we can hit up the local shops here in the valley and maybe, you know, if we can record what their shops look like and maybe let them talk about it on the show just to
fantastic idea. Brian.
Fantastic Worlds is already given. They said
They want us
anytime
on.
we want to go there, they'll move anything. They'll move half the store for us if we want to come hang out and podcast there. And I think
every shop has basically extended that offer, which says a lot about the valley and the community, the comic community in the valley. Yeah, you always every once in a while you'll find a bad apple in the bunch, but just like with the police force, not every bad apple ruins the bunch. You just got to get rid of the bad apple, and communities police their own, and we have an amazing one here in the valley.
Very true. But yeah, shout out to them, man. I had a great experience there. Look forward to seeing them tomorrow if we go.
I love going in there and bullshitting about hockey with Ish, and
all I know is if I walk in there, I'm walking out with first vision. I already know.
You already know. I mean, I took a picture next to the cover of Gotham by Gaslight poster on the wall. I didn't put it on my Facebook. I'll do that tomorrow. It was fun. Good trades like.
They just got a Spider-Man run and a ton of keys, and I walked in there and looking for that first Kingpin, and Ish was like, "Hey, check out all these other books we got. Oh, there's the books I haven't posted yet." And it's like, oh, going through it, it's like, oh, here's the first cameo appearance of Mary Jane. Here's the first full appearance of Mary Jane. Here's another one. Oh, here's the first Gwen Stacy cover, and you're going through all of it. Oh, here's the first Scorpion. Like, here's the first Rhino. Dude, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Lance with the comic crawl idea. That's a segment there. Comic crawl. Boom.
I was like, I had Brent with me, and I was like, hey, Brent, you want to see a book that I'll never be able to afford in like 5 lifetimes? Amazing Fantasy 15 sitting there in the case. 1.5 CGC graded.
What are they selling it for?
I didn't even ask. I didn't even want to know.
If you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? You don't see me asking about anything. I know, wait, whoop, not getting that now, boy. Next time, baby, for everything. Although I'll get Brian's next time, baby, tomorrow. I'm hyped about that. Waiting for those books for 2 long weeks.
Oh, what books do I am gonna get for Brian?
That should be fun. I'm excited. Yeah, for sure. We got to figure out we got to map this whole thing out. Solo Wookie did a great time to disappear. Oh, he's back for money. No, he's not back for me. I was reading this comment. I was reading it's a YouTube comment. My bad, Solo.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the back half of our show. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of odd news.
Tonight, the Six Sad World Primetime Special with people just like you, only more pathetic.
It's a bit nutty.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
All right, with all the crazy shit that's going on in the world right now, the one symbol that has become a major staple of the U.S. police force is the Punisher symbol. And the question has come up, how do you stop cops from using the Punisher symbol? One of the ideas is to make it a Black Lives Matter symbol. Do you guys think that's a good idea, bad idea, or do you think that it should just be removed as being used as a symbol anywhere?
I don't think it should be removed. I think anybody should use it if they fucking want to, but actions have consequences. Like, if you're a douchebag and you use that symbol as a douchebag, you might get punched in the face.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a dude that I worked with one time. He showed up and he went like this, and he had the Punisher on each arm. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I love Spider-Man." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Punisher, Spider-Man, Punisher, fucking 29, yeah, fuck yeah." Like, he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I just think it's cool." It's like he just
fucking poser. Cool. He's a fucking poser, like somebody else I fucking know. Fucking poser. Poser ass tattoos. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. Matt coming up with the subtle.
That's right.
Matt with the subtle.
Legendary WWE wrestler The Undertaker reveals that his favorite metal bands are. And if anybody follows The Undertaker, you know that he's had the phase where he did American Badass by Kid Rock, Come Out to Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, Metallica's Now That We're Dead. So he says that his favorite bands are Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Ozzy Osbourne, Rage Against the Machine. And it all just depends on what body part he's working out in the gym that day is who he listens to.
I got to say something. I watched the first episode, I believe, of his documentary that's going on right now. Fucking amazing. I am not a big wrestling fan. Of course, I know who The Undertaker was or is. Fascinating. I could not stop watching. Almost made me want to go and buy whatever streaming service they have so I can watch the whole thing. Very cool. I love shit like that. I love seeing behind the scenes on people who are professionals. That dude is the ultimate professional. Mark Calloway is his name, if you don't know. And just a really cool documentary. Really cool dude. Never expected to have that much respect for a wrestler.
I just thought it was cool, and it's like I subscribe to this like heavy metal thing. They always post these heavy metal articles, and I was like, that's where I got the drummer with the COVID story. It's the same website as the guy they posted the Undertaker one. And I was like, Guns N' Roses, I could see that. Metallica, I could see Rage Against the Machine. Nice.
That's solid.
Nice.
You can only respect that. I mean, I've only watched Undertaker wrestle once, and it was on YouTube, but still, I respect Rage Against the Machine. Nope, just kidding. Not gonna do it.
Rage
I'm sure Kyle does what?
I don't know. There is a company, adult ice cream truck delivers frozen cocktails.
Fucking genius.
That is pretty smart.
Dude, it's like an ice cream truck, but for adults, man. Come up and like a frozen margarita.
They're delivered through several Houston neighborhoods, including Midtown, Downtown, Montrose,
awesome.
Washington, the Gallery, and the Heights. So
when are we going to see the drug ice cream man? That
soon enough.
Hear about when we were kids, like, dude, that dude really sells drugs out of his ice cream van.
Every ice cream truck, that's what you heard about. That guy really sells drugs.
When are we going to see that ice cream van?
That's good. That's a good question.
Soon.
I'm gonna butcher this dude's name. I think it's Ray Cicerelli. NASCAR is leaving NASCAR at the end of the season over NASCAR deciding to ban the Confederate flag because there's been a huge movement over removing Confederate.
Did you see NASCAR's response to that?
No.
Look up NASCAR's response. They responded to his post. Shout out to NASCAR. Thank you for putting this asshole in his place. This is the awesome, most great response. This is what a company needs to do on social media. This type of shit.
Let me see. I know Tim posted it in our chat. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick.
It is classic, man.
It was a few days ago, but yeah, it's.
I mean, I see a lot of people have said that the dude has 0 wins, so I think that's probably what he should have been focused more on.
Not only does he have 0 wins, NASCAR didn't even know that he was a NASCAR driver. Wait till you hear what they responded with. It's fucking hilarious. Did you find it, Kyle?
No, not yet.
We need a Jamie. Where's a Jamie?
Yeah, right.
I got it right here.
All right.
So
You got it.
Ray, the NASCAR driver said, "I'd like to announce I'm retiring from NASCAR after this season. I cannot drive a car for a league that won't allow my special flag." NASCAR, in reply, wrote, "We actually had to Google who you were. I'm sure your dozens of fans are real sad about your crusade to defend participation trophies."
Damn.
Brutal.
Fucking burn, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fucking burn, dude.
Yeah, so we can reach it, what it stands for, but what the people who are behind it is what ruined it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm with.
Not
I
what the
get
actual flag it's about. It's the people that represent that have kind of tarnished it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Almost like for me, and I even get the politics, but people go, well, this was actually a Democrat thing back in the day, and this was a Republican thing back in the day, but this evolved and changed so much. I'm only looking at the people now that represent it now, and sadly, sometimes that can be
it was the Indian sign for peace. It doesn't matter. Someone has taken that and they have completely shit on it, and they've turned it into something else, and they've turned it into one thing now. When you see it, you think of something. You don't think of this.
A perfect example is the swastika. The swastika, it was originally a
leave it to Brian.
Peace.
Leave it to Brian.
And the Eastern religions. And the Nazis commandeered that thing and turned it into one of the most hated symbols in human history. And
thinking about it, or did I say that out loud?
What?
This whole thing.
You just must have been thinking about it.
I didn't say it out loud?
No.
No. I swear to God, I just got done saying all that.
I don't know if did you say this the Nazi symbol? I heard you say something about it was an Indian sign for peace. Oh, okay. I thought you were. I didn't know you said swastika. I know you said something about an Indian sign for peace. I was trying to think of what it was.
I thought it was turned around. That's what I thought it was.
It was Buddhist, if I remember correctly, or Hindu, one of the two. But anyways,
but he stole it and he took it and he pretty much took a big old shit on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And here's my thing. I don't think you need statues and monuments for everything. History is history. The people aren't forgetting what happened to it. You want to find that up, look at a book. People know where it began, like you're saying about the history of the swastika. You see it now, yeah, it stands for hate. I'm sorry, people ruined that. If you want to know what it really stood for, look it up. The history is there. That's not
erasing it. It's just
exactly.
It's not erasing it. It's just giving it a different. When you think about it, it has a different view on it now.
Yeah.
When milk spoils, it tastes like shit.
Exactly.
There you go. I look at like schools or something. Let's say when you first open a school and they have rules and you're able to do whatever you want. And you can swing on the jungle gyms, you can do this and do that, and they take pictures and it's all great. Someone falls off the jungle gym, breaks their leg or whatever because they're playing recklessly. A rule's in place now that is gone. Yeah, guess what? I'm sorry. A couple bad people ruined it for everyone else. It sucks. You can still look at the pictures. You still know the history. They did have one. It did represent this. A bunch of people came into this. Part of the history too. You can't have it both ways on that. And that's just kind of what it is.
Grizzle Geek for the facts. The swastika was also used by the Navajo people. Several of their artifacts cannot be displayed in the Herd Museum.
I thought that they had used that symbol as well. I thought that.
Now, I do think like a lot of stuff is quick to be. I think a lot of stuff is quick to be like called out and I guess again cancel culture, whatever the case may be. But I think when you have as long a line of history as this, and it's not like people have been unapologetic about the viewpoints that they feel and the vast majority of it, I think you have enough. It's not like this is some Twitter thing where we saw it and people just went crazy.
Let's be honest. You talk about things like there's talks in media and water coolers that they need to label the Ku Klux Klan as a terrorist group. And if you don't think that's true, then go fuck yourself. If you don't think that the Ku Klux Klan is a bad thing, there's a problem here. I don't care, like what laws or freedom of speech and this and that. They have intent. They say their intent. They talk about their intent. They're hateful.
And it's not good.
It's not good for civilized society. It's not good for community. It's not good for brotherly love and love your neighbor and love, turn the other cheek. If you're really Christian, who
love your neighbor,
they are.
It's a bracket.
Yes.
Instead of just.
So when you're being in it, sometimes again, actions have consequences. You act like an asshole, you're gonna get socked.
Yeah, I mean,
And just like Grizzly Geek said, yes, that symbol is used for thousands of years, but the impact of the dozens of years that it was used in a negative way has had a ripple effect forever.
Yep.
There's nothing that could ever be done for the impact that it made so quickly. It's just, that's just the way it is.
it sucks, but it is. Yeah,
Good, bad, indifferent, like, dislike. It's the way it is now. It's been shit on.
And I'm glad that this is coming up. It's a topic of conversation because it's something that definitely needs to be talked about, and we should have been talking. We should have been talking about it for a long time now, and it should never leave the talk of society, because it's things like that are always how to make society better and how to make your community better. So that should always be in the forefront,
because it only helps them to continue to make things better.
yeah.
And we're in a fucking crazy times. There's a fucking crazy disease going around. There's fucking craziness, and there's not enough cool shit going on. So,
Have you got a call yet from NASA, Kyle, to go drill the asteroid that's hurtling towards us?
Dude, I'm so pissed that I haven't. I should be doing my 2 weeks of quick training. Talk about the wrong stuff. Like, I'm down. I'm ready to go drill a goddamn fucking.
Down to clown?
Down to do the asteroid. I'm down to go drill a hole. I'll even pull the Bruce Willis and I'll stay and I'll take one for the team. And I'll since we can't, remote detonate it, I'll sit there with the switch and I'll take one just to make sure mankind can fucking prevail.
There you go.
I want to do that fucking 11 Gs around the moon to catch back up to the back of the asteroid. I'm just saying.
Good man right there. Our last little bit of news is Chicago cops were seen lounging during looting and were asked to be in Congressman's office. So apparently more than a dozen Chicago police officers and supervisors were captured on video lounging inside a burglarized congressman's campaign office, and even appeared to be making popcorn and brewing coffee as people vandalized and stole from nearby businesses as protests and unrest spread across
I
the
like
city.
to do this laying on the couch. That's my favorite. He's just kicking back. He's just like, hey, cops need a break too, man. Just like any job, man, you get your 15-minute coffee break. You get your fucking half-hour lunch. Hey, man, when you're off the clock, you're off the clock. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure this dude was like, all right, if they're still looting in 7 minutes,
We'll go say,
I'll go over there and do something.
Bob, I'm gonna take care of this one, man. It's been a long shift. I mean, I don't know. It's sad they're in a situation like that. It's sad they have to be like shown like that. But it's like,
well,
like
think about
the
job that they got to do. That's a fucking shitty job, and then to be treated like shit.
That's all it is a job.
Yeah. So if I was that person, there would be a part of me that went, you know what? Fuck these motherfuckers. If they don't want me there, I'm going to take a fucking nap. So I don't blame that. Those people, those guys are humans too, and they need to be told that they're doing a good job and thank you. It's very hard to do that job, to be that in that position and be hated all the time. But because of that, if you're a police officer, you got to start working harder. You got to put in more work. You got a shitty job ahead of you to change the way people feel about you. But
Video
you
you
gotta
posted
do it.
on your Facebook the other day.
What's that?
I like the video you posted on your Facebook the other day.
Which one was that?
The anonymous one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're gonna get into this rabbit hole, huh?
Yeah, dude. I watched that and I laughed because I was like, I remember seeing that and I was like, that's kind of weird. And I didn't say shit. I didn't bring it up to you. I didn't message you. I didn't get involved. I seen it and I said, it seems so out of place for Brian, but you know what? His viewpoints are his viewpoints, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna shit on him for it. It's whatever. If he wants to post that, he can post that. And then like when you guys posted the episode, Nubia texted me. She's like, "What video?" And I was like, "Oh man." It was fucking hilarious, though. And I saw it when you posted it. I clicked on it like I do. Everybody posts videos. And I was like...
That's a perfect example. You learn two good lessons. One, make sure you're posting what you really think you're posting. And two, if you know somebody, don't act like he's acting a certain way when you know he'll never really act that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I tell you that I don't like running, I don't like running. And it's fucking obvious. I don't run from the fucking cops. So if somebody says, I saw Brian running, you're going to say, go fuck yourself. Not going to happen. You know what I mean?
I was just like, kind of like when Corbin thought I was hitting on the waitress at the bar. He just kind of let it happen. And it was just like, he knew it was kind of weird, but he just was letting. It's kind of how I was with the Brian.
Yeah. That was a good one. You're right.
Even my mother commented on the fucking thing, like, Brian, what are you doing? Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh God, my own fucking mom. But I'm not fucking taking it down, that's for sure. Shit's up there for posterity's sake.
I must have missed this.
So basically what happened is when we were shooting a podcast episode, and I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news in 10 years. I learned shit, from my brother or, from the guys. I didn't know about the riots and the Scottsdale riots in depth. Okay. I knew that there was shit going on, but I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know about Jake Paul and stuff. So we get I get to the studio, and Keith goes, dude, did you fucking hear about Jake Paul? And I'm like, no. And right as he was about to tell me, the guest showed up. So we talked to the guest. And then after the show, I go, dude, tell me about Jake Paul. And he tells me about Jake Paul. And then he goes, but there's something that's even crazier that happened. Anonymous is back. They dropped 3 fucking huge bombs. They dropped the Trump fucking dossiers about Epstein. They dropped the fucking the whole Epstein and royalty fucking kids is what caused Princess Di to be killed by the royal family. And then they fucking shut down the Minneapolis Police Department and fucking did some crazy fucking V for Vendetta, Mr. Robot shit. And I went crazy. I went, are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit. And I was super high. I wasn't high. I was super high. We just got done doing a show. I probably smoked 4 blunts during that show. I was high, and we couldn't find the video about Anonymous. And all of a sudden, all the fucking posts are saying, make sure you retweet the video because they're pulling it down. They're deleting all the Anonymous posts. And we were like, holy shit, this is straight out of Mr. Robot, and that show was sick. And like, we're like, oh my God, it's fucking amazing. We're not going like, don't get me wrong. Whether you guys like Anonymous or not, they are a vigilante group, but they've done good things. They've done a lot of shitty things. They've done good things. So some of the things they've done are really cool, and their purpose is a good purpose. Sometimes they fuck it up, but their purpose is a good purpose. And so they put out a post talking about what they did in Minneapolis and why they're doing it and why the people are tired of all the bullshit and then why they're back. And I was like, oh my God. And the original post they did, it's just the anonymous dude with the Guy Fawkes mask. And they got this cool, like green text being shown over his face as he's talking. And then on the bottom, it shows the text of what he's saying. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to repost that video. So I go to find the video on Instagram, and I think I find it from somebody. And I repost, and I write this little thing jokingly. I said, am I too high, or is this shit really happening? This shit's really real, right? Like really real. And I put like hashtag really real, sativas for pussies, that type of really real. And then V for Vendetta. And then like I posted the video. Well, what I didn't realize is if you watch the video I posted, like after he's talking for like 30 or 20 seconds, while he's talking, they're showing the videos of these cops just beating the fuck out of people, kicking them in the head and just fucking people up. And like that's like people are like, you're inciting riots, and so all of a sudden, like all these comments start showing up, and one of them is from this young man who I consider like a son. I've known him since he was 8 years old. He lived with me for like 4 years. A great kid. He grew up to be go in the military, and after the military, he became a police officer. He's a police officer in Tucson, and he puts a quote, a comment on there. It says, you've known me since I was 8 years old, and you still post, attacks on my life. And I'm like, whoa, holy shit. Like, what the fuck did I just do? What am I getting into? Like, this is ridiculous. And it just kept going. Even my mom posted on it, like, what the fuck? So, I had to,
mom.
yeah, I had to fucking talk about that shit. But,
I was laughing so hard. So hard when you guys were talking about that on podcast. I was like, this is so fucking funny.
Oh my God.
In the intro, man, where you're fucking pouring the squirt in the coffee. That shit is so funny.
Yeah, that was fun, man. It just blows me away that, we're living in crazy times. Beyond crazy times, and sometimes you just got to take a moment and just realize what's going on and just take a look for posterity's sake, so you can say I was there, and I fucking nuts, just nuts.
Here, I want to show you my 2 pickups real quick that I got.
The book pickups.
Oh shit, where'd you get that?
Got off of eBay.
Nice.
Don't do it, Matt.
And then
oh fuck,
it's the third print.
Yeah,
I love this third print, man. The black and white with
that cover,
dude,
though.
it's
The red is
just-
striking. Ooh.
that's beautiful. Wow.
And I have a 1 in 25 of this coming as well. It just hasn't got here yet.
Nice.
But I saw those because, like, Clayton Crane was at CGC doing it, and he was signing them and talking to people, and I was like, and we talked about that book a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I gotta get that fucking book. And then when Tim sent me my Kylo Ren hilt, and I put it all together, and I was painting it and getting it all prepped to look all badass. I was like, I gotta get those books. So I went on and like those covers of that series are badass. So
They're pretty sick. That last one especially. Wow.
Yes, everybody wave to Lance's daughter, who's apparently watching us.
Yeah,
He thinks he's in a meeting. It's funny.
The Star Wars shit is just ridiculous, and there's a lot of money that can to be made still in Star Wars, and I think the Kylo Ren shit is still very underrated. I think that's a great character. I hope there's a way that they can continue to tell stories with that character for a while. They should have never killed him off.
he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
I'm with you. I didn't like him at first. I thought he was a whiny bitch, but he really grew on me.
The raw emotion and the confusion and the internal turmoil, it's just it speaks to so many people in today's world of just everything that's going on, and he's like most people where it's hard to you can keep it under wraps until something happens and then it just explodes.
Yeah.
And it's just such, I hate to say it, but it's such a relatable character to me. Like just that mix of emotion and like turmoil, and you just seem like everything is just like out of sync, just a smudge sometimes, and it's not around you, it's you that's out of sync. I don't know, there's just something, and maybe I'm looking too deep into him, but that's what I get from him.
No, I agree 100%. I think it's dope.
100.
It's something that you replicate, like that you like. It's like reflecting in you as far as a character.
I'm geeking out on Star Wars so much that I'm searching for figures again. I'm out searching for the Mandalorian wave. Just recently came out in the smaller figures, the non-black series, and unfortunately, all I'm finding are the Drek of that wave, which is, it shouldn't be Drek, but it's Drek. The Lando, the Bespin Luke. I think there's a Leia, C-3PO. It's hard to find. There's two figures that people are trying to find in that wave, and the Mandalorian is one of them, and it's a badass looking figure. And I think it's selling for a pretty decent amount on the secondary market. So it's pretty hard to find.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm geeking out on that shit again, man. I gotta play it safe. Oh, it's dope.
Star Wars.
Yeah, invest wisely. I feel you on that.
Do you have to sand it down?
He didn't.
Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on. Did you have to sand it down?
Dude, there's so much detail in it that it was hard for me to do it.
Yeah.
All I have to do, I've got and I kind of like that it's kind of like rough.
Yeah.
I kind of like that look to it. So all I have left to do is I have to paint all of this red. This needs to be blue, and then there's a little gold flare into it. Like you put a little bit of reddish gold flare into it, like it's because it's burning so hot. But other than that, man, it came in like 6 or 7 pieces. I still got Matt here somewhere. I don't even know where anymore. Somewhere in the bag.
Pick it up from you tomorrow.
Boom, boom, boom.
But I would love to be able to add like red to come out and actually like.
Lance from Couch Cruncher says kind of overboard for a penis pump.
Hey, nothing like penis pump that says, "Hey, I'm using my favorite Star Wars character's hilt."
True that. That was a good one, man.
Who is talking?
Someone's screaming at Corbin's house.
Corbin, get the fuck off the internet!
I know I'm using the bandwidth. It's on me.
Thought I told y'all to sit down and shut up.
Shut up. That's pretty much exactly what's being told, by the way. So congrats on that one.
Anybody got anything else you want to talk about this week before we get out of here and let everyone get to enjoying their Friday nights?
Friday night.
It's 10:13, so that night is almost over, unless you're one of those believers that the night is still young.
Oh, the night is still young. The
Now,
night
if I gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Even now that it's black.
is still young.
Gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Dude.
Uh,
Shout out to Tim. The one guy that's not in the chat tonight.
Shout out to the one guy.
Lance says they're trying to watch Netflix, you inconsiderate bastard. Talking to you, Corbin.
Oh, wow.
Badass.
Fleshlight, Kyle.
Good one.
All right, well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode. If you guys had a good time, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to come out comic book hunting with us all tomorrow, you can shoot us a message on the Absolute Geek Facebook page through Messenger. We'll let you know what shop we're at when. Come hang out, say hi, search and rummage some comics with us, I should say. It should be a fun day. If this is your first time finding us on YouTube, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment below. If you're listening to the playback on Monday, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. That helps us in the podcast standings. Make sure to check out Grizzled Geek at 6 p.m. live on YouTube every Friday night before us. They're the appetizer. Come stick around for the main course. And then always make sure to check out the dessert that is Couch Crunchers on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. live on YouTube over on Couch Crunchers page. Check out Corbin possibly tomorrow on Couch Crunchers. Who knows?
Tentatively, That's the plan, right?
Tentatively, that sounds like a plan. Thank everyone for hanging out in the chat. If you guys want to support the show, the best way to do that is buying some merch like that beautiful, beautiful Comic Code shirt Brian has on right now. Or you can go to the Etsy store and pick up in the links below the Kyle signature. No, sir, that is an incorrect statement shirt. Those are always for sale. The proceeds go to help the show.
It's a pretty good show. I don't have to change for it.
Yeah. So for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I am Matt.
I am Kyle.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Corbin.
Make sure to check out Tales from the Spinner Rack Saturdays at 3 p.m. live on YouTube if you want to hear more about Punchline. Sundays, 3 p.m. I apologize. Thank you, Corbin. Sundays, 3 p.m. If you want to hear more about...
It was a really good show next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's a lot coming from Kyle.
I was intrigued and I was engrossed and made me want to go buy a comic book so I could catch up and read. And it did exactly what it's supposed to do with a comic book review show.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad that we
you
finally...
guys actually read the goddamn books.
If you want to find more about Batman 92 and Punchline and Corbin's thoughts on that, come check out Tales from the Spinner Rack Sundays, 3 p.m. live on YouTube, on this page right here. And if you hit that bell notification, you'll get a notification when we go live. So there's that too. But we'll see you guys next time.
Keep them bagged and boarded and those pockets loaded.
Corbin now takes the bagged and boarded line. It used to be Kellen's line.
Oh man, I've got to keep it alive. Just made a slight amendment to it.